Good morning, Red Wings fans, and welcome inside the Belfort Training Center right here at Little Caesars Arena. I'm Daniella Bruce alongside Ken Kal and Art Regner for today's Development Camp 3-on-3 tournament presented to you by Huntington Bank. Now, this is going to be fun today, gentlemen. Our prospects have been split up into 4 teams. They're going to play a 3-on-3 tournament. Each game is going to be 3 10-minute periods with a running clock. So we're definitely going to have some fun today, Ken.
I think we're going to have some fun, and I think the players are going to finally have some fun. I mean, you can only go through so many drills before it gets boring, and then all of a sudden you want to play and you want to compete. And, you know, let's face it, they all like to skate, Art, and it's going to be a fun time here today.
Yeah, certainly. I think I would expect. I think the key is what Dan Cleary said. Jobs are not going to be won or lost today, and I think that these guys have bonded for almost a week now. So I think we're going to see a real wide open 3-on-3, what you're going to get, but I think it's going to be really a fun game. Guys are going to, you might see a couple of the Michigan moves or something, just guys, going at one another and, a little chirping. But I want to tell you, I talked to one of Ken's friends who, not his real name, Benny the Bookie, and he has told me the odds are in Vegas, and everyone is betting Team Simon heavy.
Okay.
Because
all right.
Well, Kosa is the goaltender. Sebrango is one of the defensemen. And then you've got Knubel, Savage, James, Donner, Nilsson, and Ali is their forward core. So that's a lot of speed out there. Yet, there is some big news that Red Wing fans are probably going to be really psyched about. We might see a debut of someone in the red and white today that fans are very eager to see.
Hey, not only fans, we are all eager to see. We'll surprise you guys in a little bit with who will be out there on the ice. Ken, from a development and staff perspective, what do you think the goal is of this 3-on-3 tournament? Obviously, the players want to have some fun, but what do you think all the staff is looking for and watching for?
Just how they play in game situations, I think. And 3-on-3 is really big in the National Hockey League right now. And let's face it, these guys want to come out there, and even though it's not about winning jobs, they want to make sure that they show management what they're all about and what they're capable of doing.
Yeah, so many young, exciting prospects here today, but the Red Wings added some other players yesterday, you guys. It was an exciting free agent frenzy as of yesterday. I'm really excited for Andrew Kopp to get here on a 5-year deal. He's going to be exciting. We talked about that second-line center, and there it is, Art. They have their second-line center until potentially Marco Kasper's available to come to Detroit.
Right, and we will see Marco Kasper on the ice here today, and that'll be great. There's Sebastian Kosa. That's why I'm going with Team Simon for sure.
Sebastian Kosa.
But
is the only reason?
Yes. I would say that, Ken was right. I would imagine that they just want to look at maybe the compete level of these kids, exactly how they compete against each other. I think they know that it's going to be fun, but, obviously they're competitive. They're on the cusp of, being in the NHL, many of them. And so I expect a really fun game. But, with Andrew Kopp, I'll tell you the signing that I really, I like all of them yesterday. And I don't know how many guys. I think by the end of the day, when they officially release it, the Red Wings are going to, sign 7-8 players or something, an extraordinary number, is David Perron. Mm-hmm. I think that is just an excellent signing. This guy's a winner. He scores big goals. He's big. He's that kind of forward that I think that, the Red Wings could really use. And at 34, I believe he'll be the oldest guy on the team. And talking to him yesterday, talking about leadership and all that. So, he has it, and he talked about it. He didn't realize he was the oldest guy on the team. And it was like, buddy, 34 is not old.
Yeah.
Maybe not even in hockey years, really, if you keep in shape. So it'll be great. I mean, I thought that it was a good day for the Red Wings with Husso. If you look at this team right now, when is it? September 13th, or is that the Prospects Tournament start?
I think that is Prospects Tournament. Training camp the following week.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to these 4 hockey games that we're going to bring you.
Yeah. We've got Team Draper and Team Simon on the ice first. Team Draper is in white. Team Simon is in red. So everybody pay attention to that too. Ken, before this game gets started here this morning, what free agent signing are you most excited about from yesterday?
Well, I think the defenseman is really key, and Ole Mata has been around for a long time, and I think he's going to help the blue line core. And Ben Sherratt, to me, I wanted to see the Red Wings trade for him at the trade deadline because I wanted him to come to Detroit and then maybe sign a deal, but obviously it all worked out with free agency. But what I like about Ben Sherratt is the fact that the Red Wings need some big stay-at-home type defenseman.
Yep,
and shutdown guys. So when the game's on the line, they can put him out there. And let's face it, when you get a big body like that, and maybe Sider's out there as well, it's hard to get to the front of the net.
Yeah.
And, that'll help out the goaltender. But again, obviously the offense, you look at Kopp, he's terrific. He can score goals. And obviously David Perron, his bread and butter last couple years was on the power play.
Right.
Scored 27 goals last year. So the Red Wings have some players, and right now I think they have depth. And that was one of the things that were lacking, I think, over the last several years. We all know they had a great top line with Larkin, Bertuzzi, and Raymond. But after that, it kind of tailed off a little bit. Now they've got 2, maybe 3 solid lines going into the season, and that's a positive note.
All right, let's take a look at some of the notable names that will be out there in Game 1 of this 3-on-3 tournament. Team Draper consists of Ethan Phillips, Theodore Niederbach, Trenton Bliss is out there. We've also got Oscar Plandowski and Cedric Feidler. And then for Team Simon, which is who Art has hands down the winner of this tournament, obviously Sebastian Cossa will be in net for them. Donovan Sebrango on the blue line, Red Savage, Dylan James, Liam Dower-Nilsson, and Brennan Ali, who was a 7th-round pick this year. So some exciting names out there in Game 1 to kick this morning off, gentlemen.
Well, certainly. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing what Sebastian's going to do in net. I mean, he's a real competitive kid, as we've said. He just went up to Carter Gylander, his opposition in goal for Team Draper, and they just did a little fist bump and all that. So, a little camaraderie. And I think that's the thing. This is the important thing. This is what Dan Cleary did stress, that just these guys, everybody, this is a getting to know each other week, as we said earlier. So I'm looking forward to just having a lot of fun today.
Well, I'm interested in Sebastian Cossa, too, because, well, first of all, he's not an NHL goaltender, right? He came into the Prospects tournament last season, and he was just so-so.
Yeah.
But he's got to show improvement at a higher level, and this is a great opportunity. Even though this is a 3-on-3 tournament and it's a development camp, you want to take that next step. You want to be a little bit sharper, and also going into the Prospects tournament, you want to be really sharp.
Well, you'd imagine in a 3-on-3 situation, Sebastian Cossa could see a lot of action, too, so it could be a good test for him today.
Absolutely. And, Gylander's a guy that he's had some pretty good numbers, too, and he's making his way up the ranks.
Right. Gylander was somebody that the Red Wings drafted in the 7th round in, let me make sure I've got the
2019.
2019, and I can remember at the time when the Red Wings drafted him, they were surprised that he was there in the 7th round. He's at Colgate now, out on the East Coast, very exclusive college, good school. So obviously, he's got a little bit of a head on his shoulders as well, and Carter Gylander could be a guy that could be one of these sleeper picks, especially with goalies, Ken. I mean, maybe you can say that for every position, but how many times do the backstory on a goalie sometimes is really extraordinary. It's kind of, Hollywood couldn't have written it any better.
Well, the thing about goaltenders, too, is it takes them a little while to develop. And, some of them get it right away and others don't. It takes some time. So we're about ready to go right here. And we've got the opening face-off coming out. We're glad you're in tune to our stream here. And we're underway. Fiedler picks it up for Team White, and he makes his way into the left circle, gets the quick shot on goal, and a big save right there.
Yeah, well, Ken, I told you, Sebastian Cossa is probably going to see some action in this 3-on-3 tournament, and hey, right out of the gate, he's making a save.
Well, he looks big in goal, doesn't he? Covers a lot of the net.
Takes up the whole net, yep.
I don't know how many saves he's made in his life at 8 a.m. in the morning, but especially for him being on, his body clock's a couple hours behind us, I think, being out there in Edmonton.
Yeah.
Here's Sebrango moving in, right circle, little drop feed. James with a shot, and he didn't hit the net. He fired it wide of the goals. Gylander was looking on, and now Niederbach, he will pick it up. Wings have high hopes for him.
Right, certainly. He is a high draft pick, a real nifty little playmaking center, and somebody that I know the Red Wings have looked forward to. Had a little bit of injuries. Has struggled a little bit, in the learning curve.
Mellenbacher is out there as well as the puck is deflected. It came out to center ice. Now it's chipped over the line, and they come back the other way. Mellenbacher 2-on-1 with Bliss. Left circle, feed in front. Bliss with a chance, and he scores. He put it up into the corner, beating Cossa, and it's 1-0.
Hey, nice looking setup there from Owen Mellenbacher, who was another 7th-round pick in this 2022 draft. And Trenton Bliss, a signee of Grand Rapids as of March. So exciting to see them connecting there. This is what we're going to be looking for throughout this 3v3 tournament. Some pretty goals, some nice plays like that.
Right, we thought this wouldn't be competitive, but there was a lot of Bliss on the Team Draper bench when that goal went in.
Oh, Art's on this morning, you guys. I bet you he's running on under 3 hours of sleep.
You've got that right. You've got that right.
That was a nice shot by Bliss, too, into the upper corner of the net. And that's what you're looking forward to. You want your forwards, when they get a chance to score, to bury the opportunity, and he did on that 2-on-1.
Yep.
All right, 1-0. That's the score, and Kosa looking on in between the pipes in the end to our right. Lane shut down, and Plandowski will pick it up. Drop it back, and now they head forward. Niederbach with a feed up on the left side. Landowski in over the blue line. Little pivot, drops it back. It's shoveled. Niederbach in behind the goal, and now it's intercepted, and back comes Sebrango. Feed pass over the line, off the stick of Ali into the corner. Bradley to chase it down. Ali poked it away from him. Sebrango's been a surprise. He was a youngster as he played for the Grand Rapids Griffins.
Right, he, because of the COVID year, the OHL shut down the Kitchener Rangers. He went to Grand Rapids, and as soon as the OHL was going to reopen, go back open, they thought that he had to go back to Kitchener. It never happened. The league shut down, and Sebrango made his way to the Griffins, and the Red Wings signed him.
Yeah, it really worked out for him. He's played well down there. He's a gritty style defenseman, like we were just talking about before the show with Ben Sherratt. I would say he's that style. You're not going to see all of the offense and the pretty plays from him, but he definitely holds it down on the blue line.
Yeah, he's a little bit abrasive.
Red Savage with a feed up over the line. Now James plays offside. They got to tag up, and they will do it right there.
Well, so far you have to say the team in white, which is Team Draper, has carried the play for most part in the first.
They didn't listen to your handicap.
No, I think they did, and I think it got them fired up actually.
Yeah, Art, this is why you shouldn't guarantee that teams are going to win, right?
I know from now on not to trust Benny the bookie. I'll tell you that.
Fiedler with a shot on goal. Kosa makes the save, and now we've got a whistle in the face-off coming up in the Team Simon zone. 1-0 lead on the goal by Trenton Bliss for Team Draper. Team Draper in the white jerseys as it's played out in front of Kosa. Knocked away with a big paddle. Over on the left side, Bliss, the goal scorer, shot it off the glass and into the protective netting.
The one thing that you notice right away about Sebastian Kosa, he is a big man. Mm-hmm. He covers a lot of net. He is absolutely huge. I'm thinking almost Ben Bishop-like.
I look at him right now, and he's got the blue pants on with the red jersey. Kind of reminds me of Ken Dryden a little bit.
You know what? I was thinking the same thing, Kenny. If he leans on his stick the way Dryden did, then Red Wings have a future Hall of Famer. I'm just going to say it right now.
How about Dylan James out there, too? The draft pick in 2022, second round pick. He won a championship with Sioux City and was the USHL Rookie of the Year. So somebody that could definitely make an impact on this Red Wings organization. He's someone to watch today.
Well, certainly, he has a wide body, too. You can tell, a big, broad-shouldered kid.
And he's in good company, too. And a guy that signed yesterday with the Columbus Blue Jackets, Johnny Gaudreau, also won that award back in the day.
Yeah, how about that signing? That was a surprise to see Johnny Gaudreau in Columbus yesterday.
I'm sure James texted Gaudreau last night for his good fortune being a Blue Jacket, which kind of came out of nowhere, right? Did anybody see that coming?
Not me.
I thought he was heading to the East Coast, to be honest with you.
Yeah, well, everybody did thought that, obviously, but New Jersey came right out and said, yeah, we don't have enough money or something. I'm sure that did make his day.
Bradley throws it to the blue line. A couple of nifty moves right there, and now it comes out to center ice. Team Simon trying to work its way into Team Draper zone. Team Draper with the 1-0 lead on the goal by Trenton Bliss. Came early.
Reminder to everybody, we are doing 3 10-minute periods with a running clock, so we have about 4.5 minutes left in period 1 of game 1 right now.
Long pass. Bradley breaking in. Makes his way in left circle with a shot, and Kosa got a piece of it. I think this 3-on-3, especially in the National Hockey League, has changed since its inception. And it used to be more run and gun. Now if the play's not there, they take it back and set it up all over again.
Well, right. It's interesting you would make that up. It used to be run on gun. Remember, it was like odd man rush one way, odd man rush the other way. You do not see that anymore because they've all adapted because they're professionals and they're great athletes.
Fiedler got it to Phillips in behind the goal. Kosa kept the play alive as he swats it over on the right side, and Red Savage lifts it ahead up the right side. James going after the puck in the corner.
It is early for me. I'm not going to lie to you two and our audience out there. I just realized why these teams are named Team Draper and Team Simon, because Chris Draper is coaching
Wow, Art.
Team Draper and Ben Simon is coaching Team Simon.
Yeah.
I just thought they were picking names out of a hat.
Well, you got to love Draper. He's got the coffee going in behind the bench. It is early in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Well, we do, too.
Hey, knowing Chris Draper, he's already got his bike ride in the sauna in this morning. So
all right, watching TV. Watching the NHL Network, getting caught up on all the latest news.
There's Mike Knubel's son. Lifting it to Sebrango. Good feed. He's breaking in, and he got a stick chop right off his stride there by Mitchell Martin, and a penalty for slashing has been called, so we'll see a power play here.
All right, here we go. Now, this will be 4-on-3, I would imagine, right?
Yes,
4-on-3,
I would imagine. Unless they want to go 3-on-2, but I would imagine.
I'll tell you what. Well,
they're going to give him a penalty shot. That's
okay. There we go. I was going to say, because the goaltenders union would sue for 3-on-2, I'm pretty sure.
All right, here's Sebrango. He's got the penalty shot, trying to tie it up for Team Simon. Up across the line, he makes his way in. He fakes, he shoots, and Geilander makes an unbelievable pad save right there.
That was good.
Yeah, nice move and nice save.
Sebrango again making his way in. He's been pretty dominant here in the early stages. Drops it back to Red Savage at the right point.
Certainly has been Team Simon's best player.
I like what they did right there is when you take the penalty shot, you have players in pursuit, and then that keeps the game going.
Yeah,
right.
Definitely. Giving up a rebound or anything like that, you got players in there to try to handle it. It was nice. And Sebrango, I feel like one of the more experienced guys out there today, right? I mean, he does have a year of Grand Rapids AHL hockey, which is a tough league to play in, so he's probably got more experience than most of the players out there today.
Right, and he's playing for Ben Simon, his coach in GR too. So yeah, they definitely have a familiarity with each other.
That was Niederbach who came in and shot the puck. He had some issues with the passport, I guess, before coming into development camp here, but it's good to see him in, and he's had some good seasons overseas.
Right, he has. He played for Frölunda last year in 51 games, 9 goals, 7 assists, 16 points, and second round pick, 51st overall in 2024 year Red Wing.
And he'll play in the World Junior Tournament this year, and he's looking to have a key role for Sweden in that tournament. So that'll be something that Red Wings fans should watch when the World Juniors does commence.
And that's why he and Simon Edvinsson and some of the other Swedes, their passports were with the Swedish consulate as they were getting ready for the World Junior Tournament, which is in, Edmonton this year?
You know, I'm actually not sure if Niederbach had the issue. I know Simon Edvinsson did definitely have a passport issue, but Will Wallander just had a flight cancellation and ended up losing all of his bags. So I think Theodore Niederbach might be along with him, too. We'd have to confirm that one.
You know what? And those bags have not been found.
Right. He's playing with someone else's gear.
So if you see a lot of guys walking around town in worn Red Wing gear, maybe a unique smell to them, you'll know why. It's all the clothing they have.
Team Draper leading 1-0 on the goal by Trenton Bliss. Came early in this opening period, down to 52 seconds to go. Landowski settles it down, backpedals into his own zone, lays it out to center ice, and here they come, back the other way. Ellenbacher moves in with a shot, deflected away to the near wing, and out to center ice comes Team Simon. Knubel tried to pass it over. Bradley intercepted it. Quick feed to Plandowski, trying to beat his man one-on-one. Opa with the line.
Not a bad shot.
Toe dragged it, went inside and shot it. Tried to get into that inside edge of the right goalpost.
Almost caught Cosolini a little bit.
Those are good plays right there. If you're creative enough and you can get the goaltender moving a little bit, you could score goals. All right, down to the final 8 seconds here in the opening period. Ali through center ice, carries over the line, makes his way in. Phillips with a poke check at the last second. Quick dish ahead to Bradley up the right side. There goes the horn, and the first period comes to a close. And low-scoring first period, 1-0 lead for Team Draper on the goal by Trenton Bliss.
Chris patting all the guys on the back, telling them good job, good job. Ben Simon really just peeling the paint off the walls right now.
You know, I'm not implying anything here, but Chris Draper is a nice fit behind the bench. You think he's got that in his future? I like seeing him.
Well, I know Chris Osgood has always told me over the years, and this was many years ago, that he thought coaching was in Draper's future.
Yeah.
But of course, he's now the director of amateur scouting for the Red Wings. But he has coached, as a matter of fact, the whole Little Caesars program.
Well, right.
Made it to the national championship 2 years in a row. Unfortunately, they never won it, but they came close.
Player that stood out for me for Team Simon in that first period was the defenseman Sebrango. I thought he looked pretty sharp. He carried the play. And Bliss looked pretty good. He had the lone goal for the Team Draper side, and that's how we stand 1-0 here after after 10 minutes of play.
Yeah, well, hey, 20 minutes, 10, it doesn't matter. The first period is over. And we only have 2 more to go, and then we'll get on to game 2. And these are going to be back-to-back to back-to-back. There is going to be they'll resurface the ice, I would imagine, in between games.
Yep.
And then they'll get right back at it. I agree with you. Sebrango, you could tell that almost year and a half or so in the AHL is starting to pay off. And then, as Daniella pointed out, that last year a full season there. He obviously has the experience. He looks a little more experienced. He looks real comfortable, and I thought that he played very, very well. I thought Sebastian, after giving up the first goal, played great too. And Gylander, he stopped the penalty shot on a good play, good move by Sebrango.
One of the guys, here's a feed pass. Bliss, another opportunity, got the shot on goal. Kosa made the save.
Just a note on Trenton Bliss. He played at Michigan Tech, had 40 points in 36 games, so the offensive capabilities are definitely there, and Grand Rapids signed him in March.
There's a feed pass. Phillips with a deke going. Kosa made the diving save, face first along the ice. Now we're getting some up and down action right here.
If I know Sebastian, he's probably going to be chirping at his team a little bit.
Savage moves in, shoots the puck, he scores. He picked the left corner of the goal. And this game is now tied 1-1. Red Savage with a beautiful wrist shot, beating Gylander.
Well, I'm sure that brings smiles to the Red Wings faces. I mean, Red Savage, a player that the Red Wings have high hopes for. 4th round pick, 114th overall in the 2021 draft, played at Miami. 16 points in 35 games for the Red Hawks and 43 penalty minutes, so he has a little bit of grit to him.
There's a nice move right there as he tried to score his second goal in a hurry.
Red Savage just falls into that category of awesome hockey names, so I really hope Savage gets on the back of a Wings jersey. Ooh.
Ellenbacher moves in with a shot. He scores, beating Kosa. And the Team Draper bounces back, and they take the lead again. It's 2-1.
Here comes the offense, man.
Ellenbacher, 7th round pick this year, 201st overall. Muskegon of the USHL. 17 goals, 25 assists, 42 points in 56 games, and penalty minutes, 56. So that was a great shot by him. And Sebastian, I'm sure he would like that back, but what goalie doesn't every time they give up a goal? Here's Bliss again.
Backhand, he scores. Top shelf on Kosa. He put it where the peanut butter is, top shelf, and it's a quick 3-1 lead.
Yeah, I'm sure Sebastian now kind of looking down, probably very disappointed in himself.
He's getting tested, though. That's the experience you need as a young
player. Seriously, I don't know if Draper shared his magic coffee brew with his team, but they've really come out and had a jump this whole game. They have been the dominant team.
I think it's because you said that Team Simon was a shoo-in to win this whole tournament, Art.
Well, I got to blame somebody else. I should not listen to other people. I go with my heart.
You know what, Daniella, you're absolutely right. The offense really picking up here in the second period.
Yep.
So Trenton Bliss with a couple of goals for Team Draper. Ellenbacher also a goal for Draper. And Red Savage a lone goal scorer for Team Simon. Halfway through the second period, Knuble looking for the puck. He's the son of Mike Knuble. Played briefly with the Detroit Red Wings, Philadelphia Flyers.
Now an assistant coach for the Grand Rapids Griffins. He's back home in GR. Mike Knuble, a guy that could barely skate at the University of Michigan as a freshman, Ken, as you know. And by the time he was a senior, he led the nation in power play goals.
His first game was that fight night at the Joe. I didn't realize that.
Oh, well, what, March 26th,
March 26th, yep.
What a great guy Mike Knuble is. Really just a down-to-earth, terrific young man.
Puck comes back towards the blue line. Here's Sebrango, and he kind of fumbled the puck a little bit. Phillips chases him down, eases him in along the boards, and now they come back 2-on-1 the other way. Up across the line, Niederbach with a fake, cuts in front, and lost the handle of it just at the last second on a power move in front of Kosa.
Even though he lost the puck, that's what they like about him. He's nifty. He has some good moves.
Yeah, he definitely beat his defenseman with that fake shot, but could not handle the puck to get it past Sebastian Kosa.
And Daniella, you like to see those forwards going hard to the net, right? Here's a shot by Phillips. He scores, beating Kosa.
Well, you know, Coach Westland, the new goaltending coach, I think he's going to talk to Sebastian about the glove side a little bit. What do you think? High and on the glove side, I mean, I think that's the third shot that's beaten him there out of this 4-1 score. And, you know, certainly they've seen something.
Well, we mentioned on the onset that the prospects tournament wasn't his best. And
no, and he said that. He was the first to admit that.
Well, everyone's got to give him some time to develop, too. He played very well in Edmonton, especially during their playoff run for the Oil Kings. So I think it's there. And
there's a goal.
There's another goal.
I think glove side high is what everyone's doing. I mean, there they go.
Well, Team Simon gets their second. And that was a nice shot right there.
They're just kind of letting it rip at this point, Ken. Yeah. Getting in the zone and letting the shots go.
You know, Fedler looks a little bit with that mustache going, looks a little bit like Dave Lewis, former Red Wing coach, longtime assistant under Scotty Bowman.
That was Drew Bavaro with the goal right there. And it's now a 4-2 contest.
Great shot. Had a lot of velocity on it. And Guylander missed it.
And now another breakaway. Here's a backhand try right out in front. Guylander knocked it away, and a good opportunity. Off the bench on a chain, here's James. And you mentioned James, Daniella, earlier in the game here. I think he's got the potential of being one of those diamonds in the rough.
Yeah, that's right. Chris Draper talked about him with us on the Word on Woodward and said he always seems to be scoring the big goals, the game-winning goals, the game-tying goals. So he's a guy that does well when you need someone to step up, and that's a great sign for a young prospect.
Well, you know, I think that's kind of what the Red Wings were looking for. Going over the scouting reports of recent draft picks, most scouts will admit that you know, they want most of these players want the puck on their stick at the end of the game.
Well, it's a sign of leadership too,
exactly.
Right? Yeah, it's a sign of leadership, and that's something that's huge.
Dower Nilsson makes his way, and he shoots, he scores, and he beat the goaltender Guylander low to the ice, and Team Simon coming back into the game here. It's now 4-3.
Liam Dower Nilsson played in the Frölunda Juniors in Sweden. He had 50 points in 34 games, so he definitely has some offensive firepower to his game. He's going to play in Sweden again next season.
Yeah, for those of you just joining us, maybe getting up a little blurry still, haven't had your morning brew, this is a 3-on-3 tournament.
Wow, it's
they're looking at 7 goals scored, and we're only in the second period. What's going on here?
That's right. We have Team Draper and Team Simon out on the ice right now. Prospects have been split into 4 teams that will play all morning long. So an exciting morning for Red Wings fans.
6 goals scored here in the second period. We're down to a minute to go. It was 4-1 in favor of Team Draper, and then 2 quick ones, Bavaro and Dower Nilsson, and now they fought their way back. It's a 4-3 game. Team Draper with the lead. Team Draper and Team White.
It has been a relatively clean game, though, 3-on-3. I mean, we've had one, instead of penalties, they're taking penalty shots, and we've only had one of those thus far, Dominic Sebrango, and Carter Guylander made the save on a great move by Sebrango.
Savage with a shot. They may have clinked the iron right there.
Yeah, I could hear it.
Came back towards the line, and Knuble makes his way into the right circle on Plandowski. Drops it back to the right point. Bavaro has a goal here in the second period. A nice move, cuts inside, it bounces away. He still fights for the puck. 7 seconds to go in the period. He elects to take it out to center ice, regroup, throws it in over the blue line, and now Fiedler comes back after it, and there goes the horn, and the second period comes to a close. 6 goals scored in that second period, and after 2 periods of play here at Belfour, it is a 4-3 lead, Team Draper over Team Simon.
Well, I think I noticed that that's a tough period for Sebastian Kosa. He let up some goals that I think he would want back personally, so hopefully he can take this break, come out in the third, and make a couple of saves for his team.
Well, I think that that's it for Kosa in this game, actually. I think.
Oh, yeah, they look like...
You know, he's taking a spot on the bench, and...
Owen Flores is the goaltender coming in now.
Right, so Kosa out. He's, you know, obviously not happy.
Owen Flores, he's a 6'2", 170-pound goaltender from Antioch, Illinois. Played for London in the Ontario Hockey League, 6'8" with an .875 save percentage. He's a free agent invitee here.
Yeah, remember they want to get a look at everybody in this tournament too, or give everybody a chance to play.
I'm really going back in my childhood here, but that's what happens when you're sleep deprived, I guess. But I'm looking at the goalie pads. Obviously, the London Knights colors must be gold and green, but it kind of reminds me of Ken. You'll remember this. This is maybe an obscure reference. Kind of looks like Cesar Mondiago in that.
Oh yeah, the
old North Stars.
Or North Stars. I thought you were going to go to the California Golden Seals.
Well, the California Gold Seals. He'd have to have white skates, right?
Exactly.
I had no idea where you were going, so usually I just wait to see where it ends up, Art.
Charlie Finley owned the California Golden Seals, and he made them play white skates. I remember the late, great Carol Vadnais said that they kept telling him, because they had to paint the skates, and that they were so heavy to wear that they could hardly skate in the things, and then so finally that's the only way they talked him out of him not putting them in white skates. He's also the colorful owner of the Oakland Athletics too. Had a lot of interesting ideas.
It's funny how that organization came full circle, and really when you follow them, they're really the San Jose Sharks right now.
Right, exactly.
Cleveland
Barons.
Yep, Cleveland Barons, and then they teamed up with the Minnesota North Stars, and then San Jose actually, so they ended up in the Bay Area.
Yeah, they had some sort of weird dispersal draft between two teams or something. I can't remember vaguely. It was the NHL, so you know that it was really convoluted and didn't make much sense.
4-3 hockey game as we're in the third period. A coin will pick it up and settle it up in behind his own goal. Quick change. Dower Nilsson is on the ice. So is Ali in the red jerseys.
Team Simon in red, Team Draper in white for this game 1 of the 3-on-3 tournament.
Dower Nilsson lives it back. Here's Ali with a move inside. Shoots the puck and a save made by Geilander. Sebrango holds it in. Good play. Moves into the slot. Drops it back. Ali hanging onto the puck. Protecting it now. Angles over to the left circle. Bradley in pursuit. Checked him in along the corner board. Still fighting for it. That is the forward Ali who wins the battle. Comes away with a puck. Throws it back in the line to Sebrango.
That was fairly impressive by Mr. Ali.
Oh, and a nice move by Sebrango with a shot. And Geilander with a big glove save. He knocked it away with authority.
Geilander coming up big.
Donovan Sebrango has been impressive this entire game.
Now Sebrango moves in again with a shot. He fired it wide of the goal.
He looks up to the heavens and says, hockey gods, come on now.
Fiedler dumped it in. Geilander throws it into the far corner as Team Draper sets up. They've been on their heels a little bit here at the start of the third. They had a 4-1 lead, but Team Simon came back with 2 quick ones. It's a 1-goal game. Plandowski makes his way in. Tried to toe drag the puck. He was stopped. And Team Simon comes back. Here's Red Savage. He's got a goal in the game. Pass over, right side, tripping a little bit. Bavaro checked in along the boards. This is where you like to see who's going to win the puck battles here.
Yep.
That's exactly right.
Still battling for possession. The referee's telling them to move it.
Yeah, just come on, fellas. Just kick it out, please.
A couple of the players that partake in media availability, they were talking about how winning battles in the corners is one thing that they've been told they need to improve on to translate over to professional hockey here in North America. So I'm sure we're going to see a lot of that, a lot of guys battling hard in the corners.
Well, there were a lot of battle drills the Red Wings themselves had during the course of the season when things weren't going well. The coaching staff at the time thought that, we've got to get back to that physical play.
Mm-hmm.
Another save by Geilander keeps it alive. Mellenbacher to up the left side. And that's the thing where if you look for more offense for the Red Wings this coming year, you got to play more in the offensive zone, which they really didn't do last year.
Yeah.
And you got to win those battles.
You're absolutely right, Ken.
Well, hopefully some of the additions they added yesterday will help with that.
Here's Phillips, has an opening. Stick handles his way to the side of the goal, trying to jam it home.
I thought Ethan Phillips looked pretty well. As we said, he's going into his contract year, meaning that at the end of next season before the draft, the Red Wings would have to either tender him an offer or he becomes an unrestricted free agent. It's a big year for Ethan Phillips, and I think he's looked pretty good thus far.
Knuble with a feed. Sebrango. Well, he's looked really good, Sebrango. He's been all over the ice. And you can see, Art, that experience in Grand Rapids has really helped him out.
No question about it. I'm not going to say a man among boys, but
he just has the more professional experience
right
on the North American ice, too.
That's great. Exactly, Danielle. A little more polish to him,
right,
shall we say. Not so as rough around the edges.
Well, playing against good players, too. Here's Ali with a break. He shoots, and Geilander makes the pad save. That's a big save by
Geilander's going to come up big. I mean,
Ali winding it up, trying to tie it up for his team. 4-3, Team Draper. The team in the white sweaters with the lead. Ali into the corner, checked by Martin. Now Martin tried to play it out in front off a stick. Ali over to the far wing, back to Ali. Quick give and go over on the far wing. That's Sebrango again. Whipped it in front. Ali trying to redirect it home. It was too far in front of him. Bradley with a check on him and along the boards. Out to center ice. Martin comes back the other way. Team Draper making a change on the go. Down to 3:10 to play. Shot taken right side and the save made by Flores. And he keeps the play alive. It's shot back into the Team Draper zone. Here's Knuble. Player lost his stick, Bliss, and he shot it wide of the goal.
When will Drapes pull his goalie?
Bavaro moves in with a shot, and he fired it over the crossbar. Way out of his net, Flores to play it back
Simon,
in.
I think. I get my teams mixed up a little bit.
4-3, that's our score. Team in the white jerseys, that's Team Draper with the lead. They led 4-1, and then 2 goals, Bavaro and Dower Nielsen, for Team Simon, tying it or making it a 1-goal game. Now Bavaro checked it along the boards. And they come back the other way, Team Simon. Up the right wing. Knuble over the blue line. Makes his way in. Pass in front. Here's a shot and he score. Bavaro got the feed from Knuble, and this game is tied 4-4.
Well, just probably the way it should be, right, Ken?
Yep.
We've seen one team jump out to a big lead, another team fight their way back, and now with a running clock under 2 minutes to go, and we'll see. I would assume that if it's tied, it would be decided in a shootout.
And Cosa's saying thank you very much. He's not involved in the decision.
Hey, there he goes. He wipes his hands of it now.
He's going to be buying his teammates lunch, I think, later on.
You bet he whiz.
Wide open in front. Pass over, right side, and they're threatening, and now it comes out to center ice, and Team Draper picks it up. Mellenbacher, he's got a goal in the game. Just takes it calmly back out to center ice, regrouping.
You know, Ken, one thing I have to say, the Red Wings look like they're big. They're big kids, most of them. I mean, they're well over 6 feet, it looks like a majority of them, going at the rosters. And, you know, certainly, I'm sure that was one of the things that Steve wanted to do when he got in is get the team a little bit bigger.
Well, I think in the next couple of years, especially on the blue line, and you see the Red Wings play, they're going to have some Redwoods back there with Sider and Simon Edmondson.
And we saw Wallander, who is 6'4". Evans is now listed at 6'6", so I think he's grown a couple years or a couple inches since they drafted him last year.
Sebrango forced out to center ice, still controls of the puck. Good hand-eye coordination, feed over to James. Team Draper slowing down a little bit. James with a power move to the front, knocked away by Geilander. Now a long lead pass. Here's Martin breaking in. He could decide it right here. He shoots on the backhand, scores! And with 20 seconds to go in the game, Martin gives Team Draper the 5-4 lead.
Free agent invitee Mitchell Martin from Sudbury, Ontario, plays for the Kitchener Rangers. 65 games, 40 points, including 17 goals, and a little grit to his game, too. 63 penalty minutes.
One last chance. There's a chance by Knuble just before the horn, and he was stopped by Geilander, so that late goal by Mitchell Martin snaps the 4-4 tie, and in game number 1, Team Draper defeats Team Simon by a score of 5-4.
That was a good hockey game. Very, very entertaining, and you have to give these teams credit for being fairly early in the morning to come out and put on a pretty good show.
Trenton Bliss had a couple of goals for Team Draper in that contest. He scored the opening goal of the first period, and then 6 goals were scored in the second period. The offense picked up a little bit. But I thought Geilander made some big saves, gave up a late goal there by Bavaro, but Martin with the game winner. And that came on a breakaway with just 20 seconds to go in game number 1. So Art, pretty entertaining for this first 3-on-3 game.
Right, I'd say Geilander maybe the first star, Bliss the second star, and I'm going to give Sebrango the third star.
Yeah, Sebrango was really dominant. He was all over the ice, and he was terrific. And you could just tell his experience really made a difference as far as the other players on the ice. And I think playing at the professional level, really helped them out.
Right, it's certainly. And when you have a player like that, like a Sebrango, who does have a little more polish, a little more experience, I kind of think that kind of settles the team down a little bit, even though that, in the end, Team Simon lost. I think Sebrango, because of his composure, even when they were down 3-1, I think that helped the team. I think that got them going a little bit, and pretty impressive. I mean, Sebrango's a guy, by his own admission, he addressed the media and he said, he said, look, I'm not going to be an offensive, juggernaut for the Red Wings or something, but he could definitely be fifth defenseman or, third pair defenseman and be very, very solid for Detroit.
Well, Trenton Bliss had a couple of goals, and obviously he played at Michigan Tech, and a lot of hockey fans out there in Michigan Tech. Let's go downstairs. Daniella Bruce is downstairs by the benches with her special guest. Take it away, Daniella.
Hey, Trenton, Team Draper, a big win there in the first game of this 3-on-3 tournament. A couple of goals from you. Just with your experience, what are you looking to do here at this development camp and in this tournament specifically?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to take all the information that they're giving us, and trying to use it and use it in these games, use it in these situations. We've been working on our skating and skills all week. And this is kind of the fun side. Get to have a little 3-on-3, get to play with some guys you haven't played before, meet some guys you haven't met before. So it's an awesome experience for us, and we were able to pull one out there, so it was awesome.
You play college hockey at Michigan Tech, so what advantage do you think you have compared to some of the other prospects that are out there having experienced college hockey at a level like that?
Yeah, I know what it is like to play against older guys. Some of these guys, 18 or 19, they're still trying to get that feel. And it's a great experience for them to be able to take this into juniors or college or wherever they may play next year, being able to learn from some of these older guys that are here, some of the coaches. So these little things they can take for that next step.
And you're talking about some of the little things that you want to learn here at the development camp. What are some of those things that they've told you already that you need to work on to help your game translate to a pro level?
Yeah, I mean, obviously every little part of my game can be worked on, but skating is one of the most important things for me, just working on the fundamentals with that. And there's great coaches in place with Brody and Tracy Tutton, so it's been awesome.
All right, Trenton, well, it was a great debut game in this 3-on-3 tournament. We're happy to have you here. Welcome.
No, thank you.
Back to you guys.
All right, Trenton Bliss, and we were just talking about that fine program up at Michigan Tech. It's a hockey hotbed for many, many years, going all the way back into the 20s and 30s. And good to see a guy like Trenton Bliss get a couple of goals, and a well-spoken young man.
Right, certainly. And, he had a good game, felt good about himself. And you could see, skating, how many times have we heard a hockey player and you say, well, they skate all the time. But skating. If you can be a good skater, you can actually go places. I mean, that really does really help out your game and, makes you difficult to defend. And you can put some moves on somebody. And so I really enjoyed that first game. I really thought that it was great. I know that maybe Costa's probably not going to be too happy with his performance. But overall, considering that this game started almost right on time at 8 a.m., these kids came out here and played very, very well. So it was a good showing. I think right now, and I think the Red Wing brass should be pretty happy with what they saw on the ice, the compete level. That's what I'm looking for, and I thought that, team goes down 3-1, you're thinking, well, where are they going to go? And they fought back. So Team Simon did. So I thought it was a pretty good little game here.
And Art, we saw some puck battles, especially late in that third period along the boards, and there were actually some pretty good plays that were made. And I think that's something that is key to anyone's development, is strengthening yourself and winning those battles in along the boards, because if you can win the battles in the corners, you got a good opportunity to make a play that can create a scoring chance.
Well, how many times, Ken, do we talk about the dirty areas or the greasy areas where all the goals are scored? That's Tyler Bertuzzi is famous for that. And you've got to see that. You're right. The Red Wings needed to stay in the offensive zone more. And I'm not going to criticize last year's team or anything. The fellas were trying. But how many times did it look like I would sit there and watch, and this has been over the last couple of seasons for the Red Wings, to say, is the other team on the power play? And they weren't, but it just because they just possessed the puck for so long. And so, I think things are going to change. And I also wanted to say, and Ken, I wanted to know if you got this, if you agree with this or not. Based on what the Red Wings did yesterday, I think that maybe a message was sent not only to the players, obviously Detroit signed, they wanted them, they feel good about themselves, is that, it's time now to, the rebuild, the teardown's over. Now it's time to build up, and I think that was the message that I think that the organization was trying to set yesterday, and I think that Red Wing fans are really jacked and really looking forward to this upcoming season.
Well, we talked about the free agent signings, and real quick, Art, I think the Red Wings, they're in a tough division, that Atlantic division. Buffalo's getting better. Montreal's getting better. Tampa Bay's not going anywhere. Ottawa's getting better. The signing of DeBrincat and everybody. So Steve had to make some moves, bring some players in just to compete in a very tough division.
Well, right. And, I think everybody is going to church and lighting candles hoping that Boston falls off the face of the planet. But, the Bruins are a tough organization. They've been doing it for a long time, much like the Red Wings did during their 25 consecutive years of playoff streak. Actually, it would have been 26 if the league didn't shut itself down. But that's another story for another time. But, it is. It's the best. The Red Wings are up and coming. They have a lot, they're really got a nice talent pool. There's going to be competition for roster spots this year. It's going to be a great time up in Traverse City at training camp. But the fact of the matter is, they play in the best division in the National Hockey League, and it's going to be a little bit of a tough go for them. But if they can put it together, why not the Red Wings? That's what I say.
Well, we talked about goaltender Sebastian Cossa in that opening game, and let's take a look at Waiting in the Wings right now, featuring goaltender Cossa.
Have some news to break here. It appears that the Dallas Stars are going to be moving down from pick 15 and exchanging with the Detroit Red Wings at 23.
Ooh.
Perhaps they're going to be swapping. So, goalie? Could there be a goalie here?
With the 15th pick, Detroit selects from the Western Hockey League's Edmonton Oil Kings, Sebastian Cossa.
Sebastian, another really big goaltender. I think he's the type of player that is good pedigree.
Sebastian Cossa comes into this season with a lot of hype, and certainly having that first round designation as a goaltender is rarer than normal, and being the first goalie off the board adds a little bit of pressure.
I'm a big guy, I'm 6'7", so obviously use my size to my full advantage and play a lot of positions and angles that way. But also with my size, I think I'm pretty athletic to say the least. So I'm kind of able to make those desperation saves when needed to.
You're getting a fiery competitor. That, more than anything else, is the hallmark. There's the size, and there's this incredible athleticism for his size where he moves quite well in the net, a lot like a smaller goalie would. But the big thing that everybody always comes back to with Sebastian is how competitive he is.
Right side shoots, big save by Sebastian Cossa.
Just the confidence I have in my game. I think I carry a bit of a swagger around with me, so especially when I'm in nets.
I think the biggest thing with Cossa has always been especially for him to improve on, is just to continue to find that level of consistency game to game.
He also is an explosive player in the net, and he's a very athletic kid. So you'll see him with those side-to-side pushes, those post-to-post sort of really difficult saves that you typically see in the much smaller goalies who tend to be much more powerful and explosive in their net. You've also got that in Cossa.
I think when you're talking about timelines for goaltenders, it's all over the map, and it's every player is going to be different.
Yeah, Cossa, I think he's more of a long-term project, I would say.
Well, I think the ceiling for Cossa is quite high. He's one of 7 or 8 goalie prospects in the game right now who project as starters.
We're excited to work with him in the summer because, it's always, he's got a lot of good tools, like we said, and there's lots to get to work on.
I mean, obviously with the winged wheel, it was, that logo's been around for a while, and it's definitely historical. So obviously just putting that jersey on with Cossa on the back, it's going to be pretty special, and hopefully it's Little Caesars. It's going to be special for sure.
All right, getting set for Game 2 here at the Belfort Training Center at Little Caesars Arena. Our stream today is presented by Huntington Bank. Team 2 will consist of Team Watson and Team Cleary. The news is Simon Edvinsson should be on the ice for Team Cleary, which will be very exciting for not only us, but Red Wings fans to get their first look at Edvinsson in person.
You know, Daniella and Art, I came down here on Sunday for day one of the development camp, and I was excited to see Simon Edvinsson just get out there, and because I really haven't seen him play other than what I've seen on YouTube and some of the highlights that I saw him in. But yeah, it'd be nice to see him play here, and again, high hopes for him, and I think he's going to get every opportunity in training camp to try and make this Red Wing club.
And he'll be on Team Cleary alongside Will Wallander, too, who's an exciting defensive prospect.
Yeah, he'll be in Detroit, too. William Wallander will play for the Red Wings. And then if you look at this lineup, it is pretty loaded. Not surprising Dan Cleary is running this camp. So
he gave himself the best team.
Hey, Edmonton, hey, guys, I don't know how this happened. He happens to be on my team. That's a pretty interesting team to look at. I'm sure fans are going to be glued to Team Cleary, especially Big Simon Edvinsson, whom by all accounts, and we don't want to put any undue pressure on the kid, he'll be wearing number 3, but like I've said, if he doesn't make the team on a training camp, it'd be a little bit of a disappointment.
And then Team Watson, looking at their roster, they've got Marco Kasper up there, the 2022 8th overall pick in the draft. And then we've got Cross Hannes, who has played really well in Portland. He should be in Grand Rapids next year, so keep your eyes on him today, too.
Well, yes. I mean, look at Marco Kasper, Amadeus Lombardi. I mean, this should probably be called Team Mozart.
Oh, boy. Mozart jokes never ending.
I know. I'm a big Mozart fan. I really am.
Cross Hannes was outstanding, and he was amongst the league leaders as far as scoring, not just the team, but amongst the league. So high hopes for him. The Red Wings actually did sign him to a 3-year entry-level contract towards the end of last season.
Right, yeah. I mean, 86 points in 63 games. And then on the Shai Buium and Emil Vero, 2 guys that the Red Wings are on the defense, and Connor Murphy in net. This is going to be a really I think that the bar has been set rather high. Ken, I've one of his all-time favorite sayings. But the bar has been set high by the first game, so I think we're going to it's only going to get better, and better leading up to the championship game.
And what's interesting, too, is all 3 goaltenders that will be playing in this game are all free agent invitees. So, we don't have a goaltender that's been drafted by the Red Wings, so it'll be interesting to see how they play and how they perform against I would imagine some 2-on-1s and some breakaways.
Well, those are the guys that really have something to prove, too.
Right.
They're here to make themselves a name and see if they can get a pro contract.
Right, a pro contract if they could hook on with the Grand Rapids Griffins, or they could get something with even the Toledo Walleye. I mean, Dan Watson is the coach of Dan Cleary is one of the
Dans
battles on the Dans, right? But Dan Watson, who does a fantastic job for the Toledo Walleye. They lost their championship this year in the ECHL, but it's a wonderful experience going down to the Huntington Center or Huntington Bank Arena down there in Toledo. It's great. They do a great job. The ECHL is a lot of fun. It's a wide open league, and Watson's a really good coach. So even though Cleary has what some would say, well, he's got Edvinsson, but Watson's a good coach. So this is going to be a good battle.
Yeah, I'm more excited to see Shai Buium, who we mentioned. He won a championship with the University of Denver.
Did he really, though?
Oh, man, here we go. The Michigan fan in art is definitely coming out. But check out this Waiting in the Wings, featuring Shai Buium.
With the 36th overall selection in the 2021 NHL Draft, the Detroit Red Wings have selected Shai Buium from Sioux City of the United States Hockey League.
I'm Shai Buium. I'm a defenseman. I was drafted by the Detroit Red Wings, and I play at the University of Denver.
Buium walks it in. He scores!
So Shai Buium's, freshman at Denver, he had a very interesting draft season where he started at Shattuck St. Mary's, and then he ended up going to the USHL and playing for the Sioux City Musketeers. So his timeline kind of shifted a little bit. So he's playing college hockey, I think, a little bit earlier than most expected him to.
He played forward for a lot of his life. I think he does skate well. He's got good mobility and athletic. I think his backward skating just needs to continue to work on that as pivot.
I would describe my style of play as offensive defenseman, but I like to get creative with the puck and make plays, and like to pass the puck a lot. I should shoot more, but I like to pass. But I think I'm a two-way guy.
He's a big sort of steadying two-way type. He can contribute, he can make the odd play, and then he's got this length defensive package that makes him very desirable and made him a sort of good pick in that sort of second, third round range last year.
You're looking at another project-style defenseman because there were a lot of raw tools that he had last season. This year, he's starting to figure out how to use those in an environment where it's, he can't really dictate the play like he did it at Shattuck or like he did at Sioux City. So that's an adjustment for all players.
For me, if I want to play in the NHL, I just feel like I definitely need to work on my skating more. Just like being a more mature player also. Yeah, I mean, those are kind of like my stepping stones right now.
And he's a player that we're excited about and looking forward to working with.
Shai Buium and the rest of Team Watson about to take the ice here for Game 2 of our 3-on-3 tournament presented to you by Huntington Bank. They'll be facing off against Team Cleary, so we're excited for the matchup again. Some exciting prospects taking the ice. We've got Marco Kasper, obviously, will be out there. He was the 2022 8th overall pick, and then we talked about Simon Edvinsson and Will Wallander, so a lot of guys that we're seeing for the first time, too, even if they were drafted in 2020. This is the first time we're seeing them here at Little Caesars Arena.
Well, one final note about Shai Buium. He's a player that the Red Wings drafted up to get in the draft. And he's a big body, too. And we mentioned all the big bodies for the Red Wings there on the blue line. He's a potential 6'3", 6'4" player that will put on some bulk, put on some muscle, and he'll be, down the road, he'll be a very physical player on the blue line for Detroit.
I know Art doesn't like to talk about the championship, the national championship that the University of Denver won, which featured Red Wings prospects Shai Buium and Carter Mazur, who are both here at development camp. But that's great experience for our prospects. It's experience that you can't teach, getting to that level and playing in championship games and winning championships. And they're going to go back and try to do it again next season.
Well, certainly you're right. I mean, obviously after Michigan was eliminated by Denver, even though Michigan did not have one power play opportunity in a national semifinal game, which I can't figure out. But with that said, many of those Wolverines went into the NHL like the next week and did really, really well. So you're absolutely right. I mean, when you play in a great program like Denver and Michigan have won the most championships in college hockey, each have 9. That's great. It's invaluable experience. And actually, we'd like to welcome Shai's family. Fairly new residents of the state of Michigan. His mother and brother have moved here to the Detroit area because his brother plays on the U.S. development program, which is now based in Plymouth, used to be based in Ann Arbor.
Speaking of the University of Michigan, I understand that we're going to see a player, Keenan Draper, that's Draper's son, and I understand he's going to be playing at the University of Michigan.
Along with Marty LaPointe's son, Marty LaPointe also has a son who's playing for the University of Michigan. It's not Gio, his eldest, who graduated from Michigan. Marty, very smart man. But second is Philippe. LaPointe has been a Wolverine. So Michigan's going to be stacked again this year. They've done very, very well.
Well, then you'll have something to root for next season.
I root for them no matter what.
I don't know how teams were selected for this tournament, but if there was a draft between coaches, how did Drapes not draft his son? He didn't pick his son to be on his team.
Well, that's a good point right there. But maybe he wants to watch him play from upstairs, and maybe he'll get a
probably spend enough time coaching.
I'm kind of thinking it might have been Keenan's choice. I
don't want to play for
Chris
my dad.
was his coach for a while here in the Little Caesars program, so maybe it was, Dad, I love you like a father. As a coach, I think it's time to part ways.
And they'll be taking the ice shortly, Team Cleary, Team Watson. They're dramatic effect here waiting to take the ice so we can just anticipate what this game is going to be like.
Well, if I know Clears and I know Dan Watson, they both are like really getting their team pumped up.
So they've got a big pregame speech, is what you're telling me. Each of them giving their team the pregame
and I'm
speech.
I'm sure Edvinsson in his broken English is probably getting the boys fired up too. It'll be cool. I wish we were down there. I wish we had a camera down there. Of course, that would never happen, but it would be kind of neat.
Yeah, it would be kind of neat. And Simon Edvinsson is going to stay in Detroit after development camp. So he's going to start training with some of the guys here at Little Caesars Arena, which will be great for him leading into training camp come September.
Well, you have to enjoy that. And like I said, I think he's going to be playing in every situation and every preseason game that he can. Mm-hmm. And the preseason schedule actually looks pretty good. There's not many back-to-back-to-back games. Right. So things will be spread out. he's going to get a lot of ice time, and we're going to get a good look at Simon Edmondson. And again, cross our fingers, if he's the real deal like we seen over his play in overseas, then boy, he's going to be a welcome addition to the blue line if he can make this team.
Right. I mean, I think there's going to be several prospects that will, much like Lucas Raymond last year. I know I'm crossing the Tigers. Remember when Akil Baddoo came out of nowhere as a Rule 5 draft pick and made the Tigers as a raw rookie? I mean, and you almost gave Akil and, in a way, Lucas Raymond opportunities to fail. You put them in positions all the time to see what they can do, and both of them delivered. And Akil's now back with the Tigers. But my point being is that we're going to see Edmondson, Albert Johansson, Jonathan Berggren, who's not here. We're going to see these fellas get every chance to make this team, because I think, and the message was sent yesterday, that the message is that we're going to have a roster. The best 24 are going to be dressing in the red and white. They're going to start the season. So even though there's more competition on this roster than there has been in a number of years, it's still going to come down to who's the best. I can't wait to see this all begin.
Well, even if they don't make the Red Wings roster right away, that's going to be really exciting for Grand Rapids. So we're going to have to get over and see some Griffins games this season for sure.
And that's what you want. You want a stable of young talent, so that there's going to be injuries throughout the course of the year. And obviously you're going to need some talent, some depth in Grand Rapids, and bring those players up when there are injuries. And again, it's all about, earning your spot on the team. It's not something that's going to be given to you. But even if guys like Edmondson or Berggren has to stay another year in the minor leagues and play with the Griffins, I mean, that's okay, because it's still going to develop.
Yep.
Right, it's high-end hockey. I mean, going to Van Andel Arena, I know I talked about Toledo, but Grand Rapids is a great experience. Lovely city, a lot of things to do there. Ben Simon obviously runs a great program. When the Red Wings made their coaching change and Steve had his presser, I asked him about, what about Grand Rapids? And, he just glowed about what Ben Simon, Mike Knuble, and that entire staff does down there in GR. So it's a great marriage, because many years ago, after Adirondack and the Red Wings parted ways, Red Wings thought they were going to have an arena in Toledo. Remember that, Ken? They didn't have it. And so they shared the Mighty Ducks Cincinnati affiliate. And the coach of that affiliate at the time was Mike Babcock, where the Red Wings actually, especially Jimmy Nill, got to know Mike Babcock, and eventually he worked his way to behind the Detroit bench, even though he was Anaheim's coach first.
All right, we see Team Cleary and Team Watson getting ready to take the ice. There they go. Here they come. So exciting.
Roar the crowd.
Game 2 coming up here at the Belfour Training Center with our Red Wings prospects. Like you mentioned, Ken, it's going to be interesting to see what these goaltenders can do, because they are all free agent invitees.
Yeah, Andrew Oak and Pierce Charleston, they're going to be playing for Team Cleary. Team Watson has Connor Murphy, their goaltender. He's actually from Hudson Falls, New York, so interesting to see.
Yeah, it will be very interesting. They got a little 5-minute warm-up going on here. It'll just be a few more minutes before Game 2 is underway. There's Emil Viro out there wearing number 51 in Team White, which is going to be Team Watson today. So Team Cleary will be in red. Emil Viro is another exciting defensive prospect, Art.
Yes, he is. He definitely is. He's another guy that, maybe not the physical side of Dominic Sebrango, but the defensive side, being gritty, being tough to play against, somebody who wants to be out there in the last minute of the game, protecting the lead for his club. I know the one thing that it's kind of funny what the media focuses on, but for a hockey player especially, Emil Viro has beautiful teeth.
He does. That's true. Nobody hit those teeth.
They like glisten. They're so white. I mean, and everybody was thinking that, and somebody finally said it in the media room, and everybody was in agreement.
One of the players that I'm really looking forward to and playing in this game for Team Cleary is Robert Mastrosimone. And here's a guy that was drafted in 2019, second-round pick, 54th overall by the Red Wings. But, he's considered to be a goal-scoring type of winger. And when you think of the Red Wings and you think of offense now, they need some goal-scoring wingers in the system. But he's got excellent hands, hard, accurate shot. He's really good skating. and has a really good shot release. So I'm going to be watching him really closely here in this next game.
Well, Master Simone transferred to Arizona State University, where he was before this development camp began, and then he is going back. Now, one thing I guess that we should point out, most of the guys that definitely all the prospects that are collegians that are going back to college, and those that are playing in Europe and European leagues, they are not eligible for the prospects tournament or training camp. So right here, this is the first time and the only time that the Red Wings are going to have them in-house, so to speak. And so, this is a big opportunity for a lot of the collegians, and Master Simone falls in that falls in that category. I mean, he's off to going to go home back to New York for a little while, and then go right back to Arizona State and transferring. So I'm not going to say that that's a stigma. I don't mean it like that, but this is also, much like Ethan Phillips, they played together at Boston. Boston U, they were teammates. These are big years for those kids because of where they were drafted. They need to impress the Red Wings and hopefully get tendered a contract offer.
I don't see Simon Edvinsson out there on the ice yet. He should be in red if, in fact, he is playing in this game.
Well, I hope so. Maybe they'll line up at the face-off, and then the whistle will blow, they'll stop playing, and then he'll just skate out.
It's like dramatic effect, right?
Exactly.
They must be working on the medicine ball or something like that, because Team Red has only 5 players out on the ice at the moment.
Yes, that's right.
Well, that's the competitive nature of Dan Clary. He's just like, well, of course, he's on the other team's bench right now talking, I think, to Dan Watson, so I'm not sure what's going on with the Red team.
His speech must have been too long, so they didn't have enough time to get their gear on.
Carter Mazur's out there warming up there for Team Cleary in the red jersey, and Carter Mazur's a guy that had a pretty good season last year.
Yeah, I think probably his game translates, though, to third and fourth liner, maybe. He might not have the pure offensive skill that is needed to be a top 6 at the NHL level, but he's certainly a player.
When we talked to Sean Horkoff about some of the prospects that were in the Red Wing system, and we talked about Carter Mazur, he described him as having a little sandpaper to his game. So he scores in the hard areas, he gets to the gritty areas. Think of like a Tyler Bertuzzi style, but maybe not as many goals or offensive contributions.
Second line power play, third line winger, maybe. Marco Kasper's now out there as well for Team Watson, wearing number 92. Obviously, he was talking about learning Swedish because he wanted to go to school there. And so I asked him, I said, well, are you in high school or college level courses? And he is beginning his senior year.
Of high school.
Yes, of high school. So, put that in perspective. My senior year in high school, Kenny's senior year in high school, you would have said I would have been at Red Wing development camp. Number one, I would have been overjoyed. I would have been through the moon. But, wow, I'm trying to think back to that, getting ready for my senior year of high school, and I'm playing professional hockey. That's quite a load for a young person.
Daniella, just going back to Carter Mazur, just for a moment here. He's a player that likes to get under people's skins. Like I asked him one time, I says, how do you describe yourself? He goes, well, I'm a chirper out there on the ice, and I like to get players under their skin. And there's a familiar fellow out there for you.
Yeah, that's right. Simon Edvinsson has just taken the ice for Team Cleary here. He's in red. Wallander out there as well. They both came out together along with Cooper Moore.
If his hair were a little longer, and I don't want to get fans totally excited, but I'm thinking I'm seeing a left-handed shot version of Mo Seider.
I'll tell you what, he's a giant out there.
He is big, yes. Wow, he's much bigger. He's towering. Imagine when he fills out a bit.
He was drafted, I think he was listed at 6'4". He's now listed at 6'6".
Yeah.
Put some edges on there and some skates. He's got to be about 6'8" right now. He breathes different air than a lot of people.
The one thing I would note is I'm not exactly sure when Edvinsson arrived to Detroit, so he might have hopped off the plane, came right here, and suited up for the 3-on-3 tournament.
Well, he's obviously the player that I think all of our viewers now will be wanting to watch here in this game. He's playing for Team Watson, which is the red jersey team, so it'll be interesting to watch him play, how he moves the puck, and I've heard nothing but good things about his skating ability, and a little bit of a different player than Mo Seider. He is big. I don't think he's as thick as Mo Seider, but he can really move the puck out of his own zone. He's a good defender as well.
Well, yeah, but I'm interested to see if anything carries over from the Swedish Hockey League, the SHL, into this game, because Marco Kasper plays for Rogla, Edvinsson plays for Frölunda, and they have quite a rivalry going. So, and have met up many times, and they're on opposite ends, although William Wallander is a teammate of Marco Kasper. So, I'm sure that if Edvinsson wants to settle an old score or something, Wallander might have to step in and break the boys up.
I don't think he's going to want to do that, Art. They're teammates now. Why they might not be teammates
I don't know.
in Sweden.
I mean, they're competitive.
They're teammates now.
In the heat of battle, strange things happen.
I was impressed with Marco Kasper, Daniella, and Art. When you look at a high draft pick, you watch him in the skills and going through the cones and everything else, and you can just see that the higher draft picks for the most part are just a cut above everybody else that were drafted below. And he went through his first drill on Sunday and going through the cones, stick handling, and putting on a really good offensive display. And he did it really quick too, and he's got nice soft hands, and he seems like he's a good skater as well.
Yeah, well, with Marco Kasper, I think when people look at his offensive numbers, they might wonder, does he have that offensive capability? Because his numbers weren't great offensively in Rogla, but they expect him to take on a bigger role next season over there, and they think his offensive upside will be there. Chris Draper did say that when they watched Marco Kasper, when the games got bigger, Marco Kasper played better, which again, that's the same kind of thing we talked about with Dylan James, just showing that capability of leadership and able to step up in the big moments. So I'm excited to watch what he does in Rogla next season.
Well, he had a big second half and a big playoff for Rogla. And Marco Kasper, and you're right, it's kind of a pecking order right now. Talking to Craig Button, he was telling me that Kasper was playing mostly like third, fourth line for a lot of time, not getting a lot of ice time, and so because of that, his offensive numbers are certainly going to suffer. But this year, and we asked him, and Daniella, you aptly pointed out, this year Kasper is going to take on a bigger role if he goes back to Rogla, and I think we expect him to, that he will be a focus point, a centerpiece, if you will, of the Rogla team.
I mean, we expect that to happen. I think he might need that for his development. Just a year over in Sweden with that bigger role could do wonders for his game.
Well, plus he doesn't want to get expelled, so
yeah, he's got to finish high school.
Right, so it's very important to him. So I don't think you want to put him on the delinquent list.
Yeah, and we keep going back to the character of Marco Kasper too, Ken. One of the things that was pointed out by Chris Draper is that when he moved from Austria to Sweden to play hockey, he took the time to learn the Swedish language and went over there able to speak it fluently to his teammates, which is something that they didn't expect from him.
Well, it's like the old in the old days when you played for the Montreal Canadiens and you weren't French.
Right.
And it seemed like they gravitated towards you if you learned the language or tried to learn the language.
I found something out about Ken today. He aspired to be a Montreal Canadian because he took French in high school.
I did.
Where I took Spanish.
The only reason why I took French is because I wanted to understand what the PA announcer was saying whenever they scored a goal or had a penalty. Well, we're ready to go here. This is Team Cleary, and they are in white, and Team Watson in red. Edvinsson is not starting, as he will get some ice time as we are underway here for Game 2.
Looks like they started with 8 minutes on the clock for this period. They were going for 10-minute periods, but we started at 8 for this game. So it looks like it took a little longer.
Oh, here's Kasper with a nice move and a glove hand save, and that was a good move in tight by Marco Kasper.
Yeah, he looked good. Very quick pace to the game so far. I know it just started, but it...
30 seconds in, Art. You like the pace?
Yeah, I really do. I mean, they're coming out to play well with, they had 2 minutes knocked off their period, so maybe Evans is a little bit jet lagged. We got only 8 minutes here.
No score, just begun. Vero got it back towards the blue line. Now feed pass in front. Vero again with a shot, and Oak with the save, and that was a good opportunity right there. Actually, that was Murphy who made the save. And the puck comes out towards the blue line. Wallander spins with it. Falling down, Master Simone, and he gets up quickly.
Tripped by his own teammate going to the bench.
And Draper will dump the puck down into his own zone. Wallander to pick it up. Sammy Stange is out there now for Team Cleary.
University of Wisconsin, Big Ten product.
Cross Hannes out there, number 74, and White as the puck goes into the far corner. No score first period, 6:35 to go.
Edvinsson is out on the ice, and I thought he was going to shoot.
Hansel to Edvinsson. There he is, the big fella. Makes his way into the corner. Hanging onto the puck, turning away from traffic. Stange in pursuit, slides it out in front of the goal. Hansel picks it up
Pretty
now
impressive.
for Team Red, and he will pick it up and roll it to Keenan Draper in the corner. Edvinsson wide open in front, but Draper could not get him the pass.
Nice showing from Edvinsson so far. Great centering pass there. And Ken, I just have to note, this is why we let you do the play-by-play. Art was about to call a Simon Edvinsson shot, a phantom shot.
Hey, I called a goal one time in an NHL game. Ken had to do an interview, and it was me and Paul Woods up there. Brendan Shanahan dumped the puck in, and it went in.
Oh, here's a nice backhand try, and they score right out in front of the goal. That was a beautiful play. And Team Cleary is on the board.
That's Team Watson, Ken.
Team
Amadeus
Watson.
Lombardi.
And it's Amadeus. He rocked one in.
There you go, Art. You've been waiting forever. Well, not forever.
I didn't think it would come that quickly, to be honest with you.
So it's 1-0. Lombardi with the goal, and it comes out to center now. A pass to Lombardi again, looking for a second. Nice stick handling display, and the save was made.
That puck did everything but go in.
Boy, some nice hands there. Nice move by Lombardi. Piercy over the blue line now, trying to answer back. 1-0 lead for Team Watson. Now another power move towards the front. Save made by Connor Murphy. Ends up in behind the goal. That's Mazur trying to dig it away from Lombardi. Lombardi poked it ahead, and now they come back 2-on-1. Vanderbeek is on the right side. Pass in front, a shot. Oh, good save right there by Oak. He robbed his man on that drive.
That was impressive. That was point blank.
Good save right there, and now Wallander comes back the other way. Drops it back. Keenan Draper out there with Robert Mastrosimone. Mastrosimone up the right wing boards, into the right circle, pulls the trigger. Kind of flipped up on him, didn't get a lot of mustard on that one. Stange knocked it away, now he's on a breakaway. Makes his way, and he shoots, and he missed the net. He fired it wide of the right goal post.
Nice shot, though.
Mastrosimone now quickly turns over the line. In pursuit of the puck in the corner, Vero to chase him down. Mastrosimone, stick handling with the puck, sends it in front of Edvinsson with a chance, and a save by Connor Murphy.
Didn't get a lot on that shot.
Nice pass, nice feed, and a good read by Edvinsson to get in close.
Well,
the
thing I like about Edvinsson so far is the way he reads the play and anticipates it. He's in the right position, and I know it's very early on most times, though. It's pretty impressive.
Mazur gets the feed from Edvinsson. He fired it wide of the goal. Now it's Lombardi with a race for the puck. He can move. He carries over the blue line. He's got a trailer, sends it in front, and it's shot on goal, and the save made by Oak.
Really, I'm not sure if you guys agree, but I really do think, Daniella and Ken, that this is a real up and down, really good pace to this first period. A lot of scoring opportunities for both sides. Goalie's looking good.
Now they come back out at center ice. That's Casper in over the blue line. Feed pass in front. Here's a quick display of stick handling, and Oak made the save. Rebound comes back to the line. Shai Buium, right circle. Drive taken by Casper, and Oak made the save.
Good series there. Marco Casper makes a nice pass over. It doesn't result in the goal, but he made the play, and then he takes the shot there too, which was a nice shot, just a good save in net.
Lombardi with the lone goal, and Team Watson has the lead. Here's Moore up across the line. Pulls up left face-off circle. Stick handles along the boards. Check there. Following up Mastrosimone. Rolls it off the stick of Piercy into the corner. Now to Mastrosimone again. Played college hockey. Moves it up the left side. Piercy holds it in. Jams it into the corner. Buium steers it in behind the goal. Cross Hannes to pick it up in the near corner. Hannes drops it back to Buium, who sets it up in behind the goal. 1-0 lead, 2:12 to play here in the first period. Game number 2. It's Team Cleary versus Team Watson. Up across the line now, making his way in. Right circle, that is Vanderbeek. Checked in along the corner boards. Outlet feed comes to Piercy. He settles it down as the team is changing on the goal. Wallander and Draper out there for Team Cleary. Wallander up across the line, makes his way into the left circle.
Kasper back on the ice.
And he stole it. Here they come, 2-on-1. Trying to catch up is Keenan Draper. Look at that back check as he made his way back into the zone. That's that two-way game that Steve Yzerman likes to see from his players.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you've got to be a 200-foot player in today's NHL, no question.
Just to hustle back right there and make the play. Here's Kasper now with a pass between his legs, moves into the corner, lost the puck. Kasper still fighting for possession and behind the goal. Wallander will chip it into the corner. And now Draper brings it back up the left side. All alone, makes his way in 1-on-1. Shoots the puck, and the save was made by Connor Murphy. Edvinsson on the ice now, down low, slides it in front. And Vero read it beautifully right out in front. I believe got a stick on it to knock it away.
Right, he did. That was a great play by Vero and Edvinsson, both high on the Red Wing list.
Hansel lifts it out in front of the goal, and it's broken up into the corner. Lombardi will pick it up. He's the lone goal scorer. Pretty good skater, that Lombardi. He is motoring up the left side, gets the feed into the left circle. Toe drags the puck, shot it on goal, and Oak made the save. Boy, that's some good hands right there by Lombardi.
Yeah, very impressive so far by Amadeus.
Rock me Amadeus as the puck comes out to Piercy.
By Falco.
Carries over the blue line, and the puck was broken up. Vanderbeek got it ahead. Time winding down, 17 seconds to go in the period. 1-0 lead for the team in the white sweaters. Team Watson. Here's a chance. Oak the save, rebound. And Oak is sliding off the right goal post, knocked it away. Scrambly play right out in front. And finally it's lifted ahead to center, and there goes the horn. So the goaltender Oak making some really good saves there as he shuts the door on Team Watson.
Yeah, Oak plays for the Saginaw Spirit in the OHL. Record of 13-16-1. Goals against 4.63. Save percentage of 84. I thought that was a really good period, but I have to say Team Watson, I think, towards the end started to carry the play.
It looks like Charleston was actually in net down here. I noticed those Michigan State pads. Obviously, the Spartan in me, my eyes drew right to them. And he's Michigan State goaltender, a free agent invitee. Pretty good numbers there, too.
Well, 3-8 record for a team that, was trying to find its way most of the season, the Spartans. And, they were a tough luck team, though, watching them. They had a really prolonged losing streak, which really wasn't indicative of the type of team that they were in the record that they had.
I just think they needed some Spartan representation here at this development camp. There's a lot of Wolverine representation, so.
Well, there is all over the NHL. Like I tell
I
Drew,
know, Art, I know.
I tell Drew Miller and Jason Woolley, they go, why aren't any Michigan guys doing anything with you? I go, because they're all playing in the NHL.
So first period, Simon Edvinsson, his first period here at development camp, his first day here at development camp after having some trouble getting to North America.
Oh.
Excellent first period, though. Only 8 minutes, but we saw a lot out of Simon Edvinsson, made some great plays, had a couple scoring opportunities as well.
Well, you can just see he's a cut above. And, he's just so smooth with the puck. And this is the first time I'm really seeing him play live. And keeps his head up, moves. He's a really good skater, just really impressive.
Right, very impressive. And what the great ones have, and, amp it down a little bit here, Art. But he anticipates very, very well. He is in position, it looks like. He anticipates the play. He thinks the game ahead of where it's at that particular moment, if that makes sense. It was an impressive first period. I thought Marco Kasper looked good. So is Master Simone. Master Simone knows this is a big opportunity for him, especially since he's transferring to Arizona State.
And Master Simone just got an opportunity right there from right out in front.
Right.
Opportunity to score the goal. Here's Draper and make that Kasper with speed down the middle. Carries over the line. Left circle, gets the shot away, and the save was made.
Well, we saw a low-scoring first period in our first game of this tournament, and we saw a low-scoring first period here in the second game. But then in the second period, things seem to open up a bit. Ken, you think that's going to happen here today? Or in this game, I should say?
Well, you know what? I would think that the Red Wings are looking to get better defensively.
So they're focusing on that.
Focus on defense a little bit, yeah.
I think they said, we've seen our offensive show. Why don't we play a little D, boys?
And Daniella, did you catch the goaltender in the end to our right now?
I did not catch his number, but I would imagine that is actually Andrew Oak for Team Cleary.
Well, we'll try to get a confirmation.
No, I'm sorry. That would probably be Connor Murphy, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's Connor Murphy. Andrew Oak, we believe, since he isn't wearing green pads, the goaltender is in net now for Team Cleary.
So clarify that. Connor Murphy, Team Watson in white. Andrew Oak, Team Cleary in red.
Red. Hey.
Red.
Wed. You know, Elmer Fudd here, special guest. Quick commentary by Elmer, and he left. Now it's Soderblom.
Ansel takes the draw. The puck goes into the corner, so Edvinsson is out there, number 3 for Team Cleary. Atburn into the corner, checked in along the boards by Master Simone. Puck along the near wing, and an outlet feed comes out to Edvinsson, jumping up on the play. Up across the line, 2-on-1, passes it over, and Master Simone could not handle that pass.
Oh, boy, I mean, it was right there, though. It was right on his stick.
Tanias Matherin with the puck right now. He was a 2022 fifth-round pick, another defensive prospect that the Red Wings added in this 2022 draft.
Big, solid fella. You know, Master Simone, I think, is pressing just a little bit. I mean, he's in position, but when he gets in position to actually make a play, I think that he just needs to settle down just a little bit because the plays are there.
1-0. Amadeus Lombardi, man who scored. Casper picks it up, and he's one-on-one on Draper. Cuts inside on the Red Wing forward, who is back checking on the play. Good, solid defense. We've seen that a couple of plays now from Keenan Draper.
Just like his dad.
Casper intercepts the pass, moves in on Moore, right face-off circle. In front, gets the shot away, and Oak made the save.
Goaltenders have been strong in this second game of the tournament.
They really have. They've had to come up big on several occasions on both sides.
And who scored Lombardi's out there in the white jersey with Sammy Stange and Shai Buium. Oh, here's a little bit of a Michigan-type lacrosse-style effort right there, and Lombardi again.
I thought we were going to see it. I said that.
Well, Artie picked it up right there that time, and it was almost, he tried to shovel it in along the near goal post.
Yeah, I guess he just said to the Denver guys, take that, fellas.
He's pretty creative, that Lombardi. He's got the lone goal, and he's had some really good scoring opportunities, and not afraid to show off that skill offensively.
So it's 2-0 now, so.
Oh, he did score on that goal.
You bet he did.
Here he is again, 2-on-1. Lombardi over the line, pass across. That's off a skate, and Mazur
go for the natural hat trick.
Mazur up the left side, has a Trailander. Mazur shot the puck. Wallander tipped it down with a high stick, ends up into the corner. And Lombardi up the left wing. Cuts inside over the blue line. Skates into the right circle. Backhand try wide of the goal. Boy, he's such a smooth skater, Lombardi.
Yeah, I mean, he really has been impressive. I know we're kind of joking around with his name, which is excellent, by the way.
Pad save by Oak. Long slap shot by Emil Viro, and now back across the line. Mazur moves in, and Viro coming back, lifted his stick on a solid defensive play.
Wow. We're seeing good plays being made at both ends of the ice here. Both teams have brought a very good high compete level to this game. It's really been enjoyable to watch. Hopefully it's translating to the fans watching back home.
2:05 to go in the second period. Lombardi with both goals. It's 2-0. In front, Vanderbeck with a shot and a save made by Oak again. Rebound cross Hannes. Cuts inside, tries to make his way in. Draper trying to spin him around. Some help from Master Simone, and now it's Edvinsson with a quick feed. Master Simone to Draper. 2-on-1 over the line. Pass to Master Simone. That's a couple of times he's unable to handle that pass as the puck goes into that far corner.
Right, Master Simone, as I said earlier, he seems to be in position, Ken, to make some plays. I just think he just has to take a deep breath or two, and it'll come for him.
We talked about the need of a more defensive game for the Red Wings. We're really seeing some great defensive plays here in Game 2 of this 3-on-3 tournament.
Or with an opportunity right there, and Connor Murphy comes up with a save in between the pipes.
Well, Dan Watson obviously is a great all-around coach. As we said, does a great job with the walleye. They're always championship caliber, and so he definitely is got his team fired up. And Clear is obviously doing a great job in his own right.
2-0, that's our score. Here's Piercy making a move into the left face-off circle. Backhands it off the side of the goal. Puck sticked around the boards by Mathurin. Casper settles it down, finds some opening along the right side, now brings it up the right wing out to center. 3-on-1 over the line. Quick change by Team White. Stange to Casper. In front of Stange, and that puck was in his skates. He could not get a shot away. Casper
great opportunity. Caught Team Cleary on a line change there and had a 3-on-1.
Well, the book on Casper is he likes to get in close. He's pretty good with his hands in close on goaltenders.
Well, you can see, he likes to go to the net. You're absolutely right. He gets that puck, and no sooner the first thing he thinks of.
Here's a lead pass. Draper makes his way in, gets the backhand away. Lombardi was back checking on the play. Connor Murphy made the save. Now Draper intercepts at the horn, and there goes the end of the period, and it's 2-0 in favor of Team Cleary.
Amadeus Lombardi, the star of the game so far, has both goals for Team Cleary.
Actually, Team
I'm sorry,
Watson.
Team Watson.
I think it's Team
Yeah.
Watson.
Team Watson.
We'll get this, guys, I promise. Those of you listening, we're probably confusing everybody, but we'll get it right. There's always a third period, right?
Well, here we are.
The guys in white are leading.
We're in the month of July, so, we're not settled in right yet.
Ken, you're always in mid-season form.
Ken, you're great. You're not the issue here. Trust me.
Well, your overall thoughts of 2 periods of play here between Team Cleary and Team Watson?
I know I'm being a bit repetitive, but I think it would be the defensive style of play that we've seen from both teams. Simon Edvinsson made some great defensive plays. Emil Viro looked good out there in the forwards, too, really playing a defensive style. And then the goaltending obviously has been really good in this second game of the 3-on-3 tournament.
Well, I think, you pour over scouting reports on these prospects and you look at it, and I think that if you were to take out individual scouting reports on several of these players, we saw that on the ice.
Two-way players.
Yes, we saw that on the ice. We saw Marco Casper wanting to go to the net. We saw Simon Edvinsson, when he has the puck on the stick, he knows exactly what to do with it, and he's a great passer, and his ability to read the play. I thought Master Simone, who realizes that this is a pretty big camp for him, since he is a collegiate and will not be able to play in the Prospects tournament or participate in training camp. I thought he is in good position. Takes a break. All he has to do is take a step back, and I think that he could be really, really big here in the second period.
Pierce Charleston back in net for Team Cleary in red. I know that because of the Michigan State pads, and then we've got Connor Murphy in white for Team Watson.
Now this is a 7-minute period, so did we lose a minute here too?
This seems unfair.
I don't know.
Got a breakaway for the hat trick. Lombardi making his way in. And Charleston made the save on him in his bid for the hat trick. He's been impressive, Lombardi.
He has been. He's the #1 star thus far.
Buium made a nice play to take the puck from Master Simone. Dumps it in to the red zone. It pops to the side of the goal. Charleston tried to feed it into the corner, but a quick whistle by the referee stops play. I like the defensive plays overall in this game. Keenan Draper made a couple of solid defensive plays, back checking. The goaltenders have made some pretty big saves here, especially Oak early on in the game.
This has been a pretty good hockey game, as I said earlier. It's enjoyable to watch, and they're competing very, very hard and going at each other. And when a big play needs to be made, usually, as you pointed out, Ken, on the defensive end, it is being made unless your name is Amadeus Lombardi.
Well, we've heard that development camp as a whole is not meant for evaluation, but these guys still want to make an impression, right? This is the first impression for a lot of them, so you know this is going to be a hard-fought battle all day long.
Well, I think Ken alluded to it earlier when we first got on the air. I mean, how many more skating drills and all that kind of stuff can you do? I mean, they're hockey players. They want to play a game, and even though this is 3-on-3, and you can tell as the game wears on, the intense level, the compete level, the pace of the game, and not that it has been slow, it's been anything but slow, but it really is picking up.
It's Buium moving in with a shot, and that one wide of the goal. And the rebound comes out to center ice, and Cross Hannes will pick it up and start the play ahead out to center ice. Hannes now to Stange into the corner. Sam Stange circles the net, lifts it into the far corner. Little physical action right there. Body check and coming away with a puck and playing it around the boards near side. That is Carter Mazur. Edvinsson reaching in. Draper with a check on his man. That allows Edvinsson to calmly pick it up and move out in front of his own goal. Be interesting to see as this game moves down to the final minutes, who wants the puck and who wants to make a difference in the game. Whether you're up 2-0, you want to ice the game away, or if you're on the other side on the losing cause, who wants the puck to try and get your team back into the game?
Well, that's exactly right. Yeah, who wants it? Essentially, is what Ken's saying. Simon Edvinsson, shades of Bobby Orr there. I thought he was going to make an end-to-end rush.
Lombardi steals. He's been all over the ice. He's got both goals. Left circle, moves it into the slot to Marco Kasper. He scores. Wow, what a shot by Kasper. Beating the goaltender, and he beat him on the stick side, just inside the goalpost.
That's the Mozart connection right there.
I was just going to say, Amadeus Lombardi involved in that one, too. What a game he is having.
3 points.
Great to see Marco Kasper get on the board, too. Again, the question was, what is Marco Kasper's offensive capability? Exactly. What is his ceiling? And we're getting a look at that here today.
Yes, and looking pretty good. And right, as the reports have said, he loves to go straight to the net, and he does.
Murphy sticks that puck around the boards. Now here's a chance and a save right there as the goaltender robbed his man, and here comes Piercy out to center ice. Piercy up across the line with a shot, and that one ends up off of Connor Murphy. Back to the line, Draper with a shot moving in, and Murphy turned it away with authorities. He kicked it into the corner. Wallander trying to jam it loose along the boards. Buium is in a battle with his man, Wallander. Now Buium gets the pass, settles it down, brings it up the right side, knocked to the ice by Mazur. Buium wanted a penalty call, not going to happen. Buium picks it up now and settles it down, throws it across the ice.
Well, certainly, I mean, Denver player, he expects penalties to be called.
Cross Hannes with a shot, got his own rebound, makes the move, and his pass over to the left side for Vero, and that was, he wasn't there. Now they come back the other way. 3-0. Team with the white jerseys has the lead. Here's Mazur trying to make his way in. Lost the handle of the puck. Vero picking it up. Slides it out to center ice. Up across the line now. Marco Kasper moves in. Tried to go 5-hole, and the save was made.
To the net again. Ken, it'll be interesting to see now what Team Cleary does. There's only 2 minutes left in this game, and they're down 3-0. If they're going to press, is Dan Cleary going to pull his goalie?
Here comes Lombardi again. He's been impressive, makes his way in. A shot, and he scores. There's the hat trick.
4-point game. Amadeus. I mean, there you go. 3 of them. Lombardi, very, very impressive in this hockey game.
Well, I had a chance to look at the management staff after he scored that goal. A lot of them were shaking their heads back and forth like, wow, what are we seeing right here?
I think we're seeing the makings of a Red Wing.
He's not an overly big player, Lombardi, but man, does he have a lot of talent. Playmaking center iceman, good hands, creative, good hockey IQ as well.
Well, listed at 6 feet, or no, actually not 6 feet, 5'10", 165. He was born in June. 67 games for Flint in the OHL, 59 points, 18 goals, 41 assists, 24 penalty minutes. Taken in the fourth round last week in Montreal, 113th overall, and he has been very impressive thus far with 4 points in this game, his team being up 4-0.
Well, maybe he's one of those guys that's the diamond in the rough.
I hope so. Another Datsuk.
Vanderbeck tried to get the shot away. It rolled off his stick. Piercy up the right side will bring it ahead. We're going to try to get Daniella and talk to the man with 4 points at the conclusion of this. You want to hear that? Amadeus Lombardi.
Yes, it would be great to hear what he has to say. Obviously, by playing in Flint, just down the road here, and looking very, very comfortable in the red and white today.
4 points. He has tallied on all 4 goals for his team here in this game number 2. Buium, up across the line, settles it down. There goes the horn. The game is over. And a convincing win by Team Watson as they soundly defeat Team Cleary by a score of 4-0. Pretty impressive, Art.
Yeah, very impressive. I thought even though the score was 4-0, you take Amadeus Lombardi out of this game, but I thought it was really, really good. I thought both teams had chances. Goaltenders came up big, and the difference is when they needed to finish with Amadeus Lombardi and Marco Kasper, they did. And 4-0, well-earned victory, but it was a great game, and I thought Simon Edvinsson looked good, Ken. I really did. I thought that, again, anticipating the play, he has the moves out there, not flustered, very, very calm, has a demeanor that we saw Mo Sider have, and, they play older than their years. They're wiser than their years. They look more experienced than they do than you would believe a young player to be at this stage in their development.
Yeah, Edvinsson was terrific out there. And again, it's hard for a player who hasn't really skated all week to come in off a plane and basically being on the ice for the first time.
Right, exactly. Especially when he obviously knows the expectation level for him is very, very high. You have jackasses like me saying he's already made the Red Wings. So, we'll see.
All right, the 4-0 game, 4-point effort by Amadeus Lombardi, and he is standing by with Daniella Bruce downstairs. I can't wait to hear this interview. Go ahead, Daniella.
Amadeus, a hat trick and an assist in your first game in this 3-on-3 tournament here at Red Wings Development Camp. We've heard over and over that this isn't about evaluation, but you are here to make an impression. How important is that for you?
Yeah, obviously first impressions are huge, but like you said, it's a development camp. I'm just trying to have fun, play hockey, and learn a lot, and I think I've learned a lot this week.
So you're trying to take what you learn, obviously, and translate that into your next season in Flint.
Yeah.
What have you learned at this development camp? What have you been told by some of our development staff?
I think the biggest thing is just the layers of development and how you got to take care of your body. I don't think I've eaten this healthy all my life, so just that stuff. Recovery is probably one of the most important things, so I'm trying to take a lot of that, like cold tub, hot tub, so I'm really learning a lot from that. Yeah.
You talk about eating healthy. I know you guys had to partake in a cooking class. Yeah. Did you do well with that? Are you taking some of that back with you?
Yeah, I think so. I cook a little bit at home, so I learned a little bit, but yeah, just like all the veggies and fruits and, stuff you got to eat is just so important for recovery and to perform on the ice, so it's definitely nice.
And don't get me wrong, Amadeus is a great name. This is the last question for you, but do you have a nickname, or does everybody call you Amadeus?
I have a couple. Some people call me Lambo.
Okay, that makes
another
sense.
one is Ammo.
Ammo, I like that one.
So I've had Ammo for a while, so I like that one.
All right, we'll go with that one. We're going to call you Ammo. It's great to have you here in Detroit.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Back to you, Ken.
Gotta love that nickname, Ammo, right?
Ammo was on target in that first game, no question about it, with for 3 goals. Real interesting. He talked about diet and stuff, and Lisa McDowell, the team nutritionist here, does a great job. She runs the cooking classes. They're all over our YouTube channel, on our social media venues, and that's the one thing that I think we consistently hear from these prospects all the time is about good eating habits and sleep. Most kids, I don't need as much sleep, and that they have to be regimented not only on the ice and get the system down, but how they conduct themselves off the ice. And I think that's probably the biggest learning experience that they get. Marco's not alone. They talk about diet, they talk about getting enough rest, and so thus far, I think the message is being driven home by Dan Cleary and his staff, and Lisa McDowell obviously doing a tremendous job as usual.
Well, it's a good thing that Amadeus didn't ask me about the broadcaster diet, because I'm sure that wouldn't be the right diet, and I'm glad he's eating well.
Yeah. Let's be honest. I'm sure when he's driving back up to Flint or back in Ontario or something, he might stop off at a fast food joint. Maybe say, God, I haven't had a burger in a week.
Or Little Caesars Pizza.
Yeah, no, definitely Little Caesar. Well, right at Mike's Pizza Kitchen. Hopefully it's open and they can go in there and chomp on some delicious pie.
He looked really good, though, offensively, very creative. And, our listeners out there and our viewers, it's a great opportunity to drive up to Flint, watch him play, and, you can take a look at him, and you see him on screen right now, and you can see him live up in person in Flint. So
yeah, I used to see a lot of OHL hockey, obviously, when the Plymouth Whalers, now who are the Flint team, and the Saginaw Spirit. It's wonderful. There's so much great hockey here in southeastern Michigan. Obviously led by the Red Wings. But the thing that I like about it is that and it's all different levels, and it's really high end. Really, we have kids coming from all over the world to participate in the fine youth programs that Southeast Michigan does have. The Detroit area, Little Caesars obviously at the forefront. I mean, this is the home of Little Caesars hockey right here, the Belfort Training Center. So it's great. I mean, if you're a hockey fan, it doesn't get much better than Southeast Michigan to see tremendous hockey at every level imaginable.
Let's talk a little bit about Marco Kasper. He did score a goal that was set up by Amadeus Lombardi, but he's a guy that seems to have some soft hands out in front. And I was just looking at his scouting report, and when the game's on the line, he likes to have the puck, and he's really good in close. And sometimes it's hard to go to those dirty areas in front of the net, but it seems like he relishes that.
Right, he does. You know what I found interesting, and granted, they like each other, they're teammates, but he just makes a beeline for the net. He doesn't, it's almost like he has blinders on, and he gets there. He knows where his sweet spot is, and he tries to get there each and every time. Again, I think the one thing that has been exhibited here, Marco Kasper, Simon Edvinsson, Amadeus, virtually everybody that played this last game, it was pretty good. The 4-0 score was probably not indicative of how competitive this game really was, but is high hockey IQ. I've asked Steve this many times, and they don't exactly commit to it, but I believe the one trait that you have to have if you want to play for the Detroit Red Wings, and this goes back for decades now, is high hockey IQ. I'm pretty sure it probably started with Jimmy Devellano when he took over when the Mr. I hired him from the Islanders, and the general manager. The Red Wings will never trade a number 1 pick. Remember, Kenny?
And
they didn't until they acquired Brendan Shanahan 14 years later. But with that said, I just think that I really love the intelligence that is being displayed out on the ice, because if you can think the game, that's, I would say, 3/4 of the battle. You have to have talent and skill, don't get me wrong, but I mean, they're pretty smart out there.
And the other thing I noticed, Keenan Draper, we talk about his play. He's not going to light up the scoreboard, but what I liked about him is his 200-foot game. In other words, he's in the offensive zone, but he made a couple of really solid plays back-checking, and I think that's his bread and butter. If he wants to make this Red Wing team, he's going to be that solid two-way forward, kind of like his dad, who won a Selke Trophy, and he's that type of player. It seems like that to me, just watching him for the first time.
Another incarnation of the grind line. We'll see. I mean, certainly, Keenan Draper has made himself a player. There's my favorite story about Keenan Draper is that one day he gets home from school, and Chris has this nice ice rink out in the backyard, and much like Ozzy's, maybe not quite as elaborate as Ozzy's shack and all that stuff, but he does have that, and he sees some guys skating out on the ice. And he asks, who's out on our pond? What's going on? Who's out on the ice? It was Dylan Larkin. And Dylan Larkin was there, and Chris sent me a couple of pictures of it, and obviously Draper is at that point, Keenan that is a teenager. Larkin is just budding in his Red Wing career, and he spent the whole day with him, skating out there and teaching him things, and great opportunity for Keenan Draper, and it goes to show you too what kind of guy Dylan is. But those kind of things he takes, he appreciates, and he works, and he has a really good work ethic, and and I'm certainly eager to see what he does in the Maize and Blue, Keenan Draper, this year, because certainly we know that he has good genes, right?
Absolutely.
So it'll be. It was fun to see him, and you're right. I mean, he has great hockey sense as well, as we've talked about. So that's nice to see.
Well, 2 games in the books. We have 2 more to go in this 3-on-3 situation tournament. And right now, let's take a look at Cross Hannes in our Waiting in the Wings segment.
Cross is a dynamic player. He's really an elite scorer. He's very creative offensively, and most recently this season in a leadership role for the Winterhawks, he's had to step up and play a defensive style game as well.
Oh, and Hannes, he scores! I don't believe what I just saw.
I think my style of play is kind of more offensive sided. I think more of a creative player. I think I like to think of myself as more of a playmaker, but can also score too.
I think some of those players, they learn quickly that at a young age you can score. That's not going to take you far enough. And we convinced Cross of that early on, that he's going to have to pay attention to his defensive game, pay attention to becoming maybe a penalty killer.
Here's Hannes in front, he scores! Cross Hannes does it again!
Hannes towards the net, driving one, he scores!
To me, always growing up, I always thought making a highlight reel assist kind of was pretty, or a nice assist was always as good as just making a goal. So I really take pride in getting assists and making plays.
He's a player who entertains, and we are in the entertainment business, and he is an entertainer. He does some amazing things on the ice, which sometimes as a coach you marvel at. You say, wow, I never saw a player doing that.
He's a guy that has a lot of good skill. He still needs to get physically stronger. I think that was evident in the USHL this year.
Hannes shoots, he scores! Cross Hannes!
Obviously, I'd love to be in Detroit as quick as I can, but I think a big step for me would probably be going to Grand Rapids next year and getting just keep building my game there and in the system and stuff like that, and keep building my way up.
Detroit obviously took note of him during his breakout second season, and he's really flourished in his role here in Portland.
Hopefully I'm up in Detroit as soon as I can be, and but yeah, I got to work for it.
Well, hello, buddy, and welcome to Michigan's Upper Peninsula, where we're hard at work preparing for the upcoming Red Wings season. The season will start in October, and my bags are packed for the home opener. But until then, there's plenty of time to plan for the marquee matchups. Like when the original 6 teams come to town, the Montreal Canadiens, the Chicago Blackhawks, the Toronto Maple Leafs, New York Rangers, and the Boston Bruins. I've been pulling some late nights, drinking plenty of jitter juice, and getting back to basics, studying the game, there you go, buddy, and watching plenty of film on teams like the Florida Panthers, the Nashville Predators, and the Tampa Bay Lightning. Checkmate, buddy. Good game. As always, I'm looking ahead and planning for the holiday games like Halloween, where I'll dress as Mo Cider, Thanksgiving, where I'll watch the game with a hot turkey sandwich, and New Year's Eve, where we'll bring in the new year with some hockey and a couple cold pops. Plenty of recipes to tighten up on, whether it's my French toast a la mode, my kebab Roberts, or my homemade goulash that I'll make for when the California teams come up to the cold. Some of old Donnybrook's favorite teams come to town this year, all the way from Western Canada, the Canucks, the Flames, and the high-powered Oilers. The season starts in October. Until then, please enjoy yourself, and let's go Red Wings.
You look around this building and there's not a whole lot of empty seats, boy.
And the atmosphere is second to none, created by the fans here.
Larkin in on goal, scores! His first career hat trick! Oh, big hit! Mazur shoots the puck, he scores! Saved by Donovan. Oh, what a diving stop! That'll bring him to their feet here at Little Caesars Arena.
Welcome back to the Belfort Training Center here at Little Caesars Arena for Development Camp, brought to you by Huntington Bank. We are in the midst of our 3-on-3 tournament. We've seen games 1 and 2, gentlemen. We are expecting to see a consolation game coming up next between Team Cleary and Team Simon, which were the losers of the first 2 games. I hate to call them losers, but that's what they were. Taking a look at the scores from earlier, Game 1, Team Draper victorious with a final score of 5-4. In Game 2, which we just saw, Team Watson winning 4-0, and man, oh man, Amadeus Lombardi was extremely impressive in that game.
Well, he really was, and I enjoyed your interview with him. He seems like a pretty good guy, and I know you talked to Trenton Bliss, who was in our first game, and he scored a couple of goals. Well-spoken guy, plays college hockey at Michigan Tech, so 2 good players that you kind of gravitate to. I mean, they just seem like likable guys, and obviously a lot of hockey talent as well.
That's right. And what do you think of Simon Edvinsson in his debut, I guess we can call it, in the winged wheel?
I thought he was smooth. I thought he was composed. I thought he anticipated the play well. There were a couple of times where there were scoring opportunities there, and his team just couldn't convert. But thus far, I've liked what I've seen, and he is a big guy.
Yeah, very big. I was actually down there getting ready for my interview with Amadeus, and Edvinsson walked by, and I had to do a full look like that to see the top of his head. He is a very tall, very big guy, so exciting to see him take a Red Wings uniform on.
Well, we talk about how Steve Yzerman is drafted, especially the defensemen, Art and Daniella, and they're Redwoods back there. Like and they're just getting developed now. Like right. So like you look at Mo Seider, and he's only going to get bigger and stronger. Up front, Michael Rasmussen going to get bigger and stronger, and then back on the blue line, if Edmondson makes the team this year or whenever he comes and plays, he's going to be a tall guy. We saw Shai Buium, who's 6'3", 6'4". He's a solidly built defender there who likes to hit and play the body. I mean, he's going to be another strong force back there on the blue line. So I think it's important as this team progresses and moves forward that when you got big defenders back there, it's just hard for the forwards to get to the front of the net on the opposition, and it's harder for them to score, and it helps out the goaltender as well.
Also, I think if you look at it, the one thing I also like, I mean, this is going to be a big team. He isn't here, but we have seen him play live up in Traverse City in the Prospects Tournament a couple of seasons ago, and that is Elmer Soderblom, who is also 6'8". I mean, listed at 6'8". So the Red Wings, as Ken says, I love that term. They have a lot of redwoods. Actually, interesting book about there's actually people. There's so big redwood trees out in California that there actually have people who live in them.
Wow.
And they travel from tree to tree. They're that dense and they're that big. Seriously, it's a good read. Summer reading still, right? It's only middle of July.
You're a worldly guy, aren't you?
I don't know why. I have weird things pop in my head.
Full of knowledge, whether it's useful or not, that's for you.
It was a good book. I mean, people, if there's somebody out there, I know a lot of people are watching. We really appreciate it. The book about people that live in the redwoods. It's its own like subculture.
Interesting.
I am not kidding you.
All right. Well, back to
I don't know. Maybe Kenny vacations out there.
I know you can drive cars through them. They're that wide.
Yeah, they are. They
build roads.
Well, they do. They build tunnels like right. The redwoods are huge.
Okay. If you're wondering why we're talking about redwoods, it's because our new prospects and new Red Wings that we're going to see on the ice soon are very, very, very tall, and that brought on the redwood conversation.
I'm surprised that there isn't a college in California. Maybe there is called the Redwoods.
Yeah.
Not sure either, Art. You should probably look that one up too.
There is. Of course, Mike Fitzsimmons immediately corrects me and says there is.
Well, the Detroit Redwoods, maybe.
There we
go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Nailed it, Ken. Well, back to what we
Owner
saw.
Ken Kal.
On the ice in Game 2, Marco Kasper was out there, and he did score a very pretty goal. Again, we talked about this a little bit during the game, that the question about Marco Kasper's game was, how can he provide offensively? How much can he produce? But he looked really good in that game.
Well, I look at goal scorers, and I don't know if he's going to be a 20 or a 30 goal scorer, but he's going to get his share of goals in a Red Wing uniform in his career. I like to see goal scorer type goals. That goal that he scored where he picked the corner and it was just on the inside of the goalpost, that's a goal scorer's type goal from in close. And that tells me that, he knows how to score. He knows how to put the puck in the back of the net. Some players never learn that. Some players are gifted enough where, when they can thread the needle, they do it. And it seems to me like he's that type of player. Not only can he set up his teammates, but he can finish as well.
Yeah, it was great, like I said, to see him get that goal there, but he did make a couple of great plays throughout the game to set his teammates up. They didn't result in goals, but he was excellent, and I think it's something that Red Wings fans really needed to see based on what we've seen in his scouting reports.
Again, I thought that every player out there acquitted themselves very, very well. We didn't see a lot of mistakes or a lot of turnovers or anything. We saw players making plays or trying to make plays, and sometimes there was great defensive plays. In Amadeus' case, he obviously was a great finisher in this, and Marco Kasper, as we've alluded to, he's everything that's been advertised. He comes out and goes straight to the net. And Simon Edvinsson, considering we don't know when he got off the plane, he could have been like minutes ago. He landed at Metro before the game started, and helicoptered in. He was obviously pretty composed and looked pretty good out there.
Another player that I was pretty impressed with, we'll see him in the next game here, we had 2 goals, is Drew Bavaro. And, to me, he's a free agent invitee. And, you look at guys that aren't drafted, it's like they have the extra burden of proof. Like they have to really, really look at and play bigger and better than some of the players that are drafted just to get an opportunity to maybe crack the lineup one day and be a part of the system. But he looked pretty strong, and I anticipate him having another good game here in this next game.
Yeah, and go ahead, Art.
I was just going to say, Ken's right. I mean, really, a free agent invitee, very rarely, if ever, does a free agent invitee actually make the NHL roster. But certainly there's jobs to be had in Grand Rapids and also in Toledo. Don't forget, Dan Watson is here. He's their head coach. He's really in charge. He and the general manager down there of player procurement. So this is an opportunity to really show what you can do, and who knows? Hopefully, it will lead to a contract for these young men.
Another player that really impressed us in Game 1, member of Team Simon, was Donovan Sebrango, who played a year in Grand Rapids. He really built up his defensive game, but he seemed to be a step ahead of some of the other prospects. Let's take a look at what Donovan Sebrango's journey looked like with this episode of Waiting in the Wings.
Donovan Sebrango is one of those unique prospects where he's had the opportunity to play in the American Hockey League for 2 seasons at a young age. He's still junior eligible. He was on the Canadian World Junior team.
So I try to bring old new school kind of offensive or kind of good puck moving defenseman, but I think I bring some old school kind of grit, kind of toughness to my game too.
He plays the game efficiently. He plays it physically. He plays tight gaps. He wants to be in your face and finishes checks. He'll occasionally drop the gloves. All of that is a big part of his game.
The new logo there. Big hit at the line.
Yeah, I think with Dono, it's like, he knows it. It's just his skating. I think he's in strength overall. He's a guy that really gives, he gives everything we ask. He does everything we ask for. He plays very hard every game.
Right down the middle he goes, right side, Barber on the doorstep, score! What a play, Donovan Sebrango's got the goal! How about that?
Now, the Red Wings did have the option to allow him to go back to the OHL. They chose to keep him, and I think that that's a very important thing because that allows them to maintain control over his development. It allows them to have hands-on every single day with Grand Rapids. It allows them to see how he's progressing. It's very difficult for a defenseman at that age to play defense in the American Hockey League. I don't care who you are, how good of a prospect you are. The American Hockey League is not an easy league for a teenager.
I don't think there's any rush. Certainly he's helped by his AHL experience, but I don't think the AHL experience has accelerated him quite yet, at least, into that sort of NHL call-up tier.
It's kind of just the compete of the game. I think that you always strive to be better, and just the competition in the games makes you want to come to the rink every day. I think that's the main reason why I play him.
To do what he's doing at a young age and to have this opportunity that he has that very few defensemen get, he's really taken the ball and run with it.
back inside the Belfour Center here at Little Caesars Arena for Red Wings Development Camp. Stream is presented by Huntington Bank today. You guys, the schedule has been released for the Red Wings, and hey, this just makes me more amped up for Red Wings hockey to be back in October. All of you, when the schedule dropped last week, I'm sure you're excited for Red Wings hockey to return, and you can sign up for Single Game Priority List to get a special presale for single game tickets at DetroitRedWings.com/presale. Home opener on October 14th against the Montreal Canadiens. It is going to be a great night here at Little Caesars Arena, especially seeing some of the young prospects that could make the team and all of the free agency moves that Steve Yzerman made yesterday.
Well, first and foremost, it was a busy day yesterday in free agency for Steve Yzerman and the Detroit Red Wings. And wouldn't you know it, they open up against a team that's in their division that I think is going to get a little bit better along with the Buffalo Sabres and Ottawa Senators, the Montreal Canadiens. And I think Steve Yzerman had to be aggressive yesterday in free agency just because of the fact that the division is getting more stronger, and it's probably one of the toughest divisions right now in the National Hockey League. And then you look at the Metropolitan Division, the East is really strong, Art. So, I love the picks. You see them on the screen right now. Dominic Kubalik was a guy that I thought was a Red Wing killer when he played in Chicago. I can't remember how many goals he scored against Detroit. He's kind of like Pius Suter was when the Red Wings got him last year. But David Perron, terrific player, great on the power play. Ben Sherratt, big, strong defender. And the Red Wings also picked up another player in Mark Pesic, a blue liner that played for the Buffalo Sabres.
Right, yeah. I think he had an A on his sweater. So, a good veteran, somebody that knows how to play the game isn't going to hurt you. Kubalik is really, really interesting because, he really came on like gangbusters and, kind of tailed out a little bit last year, much like Pius Suter. So, obviously he's going to have something to prove. And, I just wish Chicago and Detroit were in the same division so they could play each other a little bit more than, only twice a year. Obviously, the Blackhawks in full rebuild. Certainly what they're doing. I mean, they're definitely going to be in the Connor Bedard sweepstakes. It looks like, but the way the NHL draft goes, as we very well know, nothing is guaranteed. So I'm really looking forward to a lot of guys. I know people keep asking me about Mata. Ali Mata. It keeps being reported, but the Red Wings haven't officially announced his signing yet. So maybe there's some contract language. I don't really know. But, you look at that list and you say, where's he at? Well, team has not officially announced it, even though everybody else seems to have announced it.
And all of those reports so far have been correct, so we expect that he will come to a deal with the Red Wings, whether that be today or tomorrow.
Yeah,
there's obviously a small
like a 2-year deal
yep.
for like 2.25 or something is being reported out there. But as of right now, we don't have confirmation yet.
Yep.
Well, the other thing, too, that Steve Yzerman spent some money in free agency, but there's still $11.5 million or roughly around there. They've got some wiggle room. So in case they need to make another trade or get another player or use some of that cap money, they can do it. So you don't want to be handcuffed by the cap, but I think they're in a good situation right now, even after the signings.
And obviously working on the extension of Dylan Larkin's contract, so we should hear that news at some point soon. I would think we've heard that they're trending in the right direction, so hopefully we see that extension for the captain soon too.
Well, yeah, certainly. I know that everybody, the contract watch for the Red Wings is obviously Dylan Larkin, which we would assume, like we said, assume that's going to be a done deal. I'm sure Dylan wants to stay here, and then Tyler Bertuzzi. What's going to happen there? Does Bertuzzi want to go for a 7-8 year long-term deal, or does Steve want to sign him? And of course, speculation on our part, we don't know. Does he want to sign him more to an Anthony Mantha type like deal? So we'll see. That'll be an interesting contract negotiation for sure.
That it will. Daniella Bruce alongside Ken Kal and Art Regner today at the Belfour Training Center here at Little Caesars Arena for our 3-on-3 tournament of development camp presented by Huntington Bank. We're getting ready for the consolation game, gentlemen. We've seen some exciting hockey so far, and we talk about this a lot. We've heard it a lot at this development camp, that this is not about evaluation for the prospects, but it's about impressions. So far, who's made the best impression, Ken?
Well, right now you got to look at Amadeus Lombardi. He had a 4-point game that last game. I really liked his speed, his skills in close. He proved that he could finish, and he's a setup man as he set up Marco Kasper, who I think has a brilliant future in the Red Wing organization down the road. You can just tell, like, I was telling Art before you came here, Daniella, like, some of these higher draft choices, like Marco Kasper, you can just see that they're a little bit a cut above everybody else. And, I see that in Marco Kasper. So, he stood out for me too. And Donovan Sebrango, who's played last year in Grand Rapids, I think he was really a standout. And maybe that's because he's played with older players and professional players. And he really looked good against the team that he was facing here today.
I couldn't agree with Ken more. Obviously Amadeus, he had 4 points and a hat trick, so you have to go with him. Ammo, as I guess as we're calling him now. But I got to call him Amadeus. I just can't get rid of it.
It's still a great name. I was just curious what his
No,
his
that was a good question. And he prefers ammo.
Yeah, he likes ammo.
Yeah, he definitely. Why wouldn't he? He's a sniper, so
there you go.
Pretty good. He was on target in his game.
That's true.
So,
Very true.
But I really do. I thought Amadeus was good. I thought Sebrango was good. His team went down, but he kept the team together. He has really, really good composure. Edvinson showed flashes, but again, the one thing that I want to go back to, and I think you're watching the last 3 drafts under Steve, now 4. The one trait that I really, really like is the ability for these players. They have a calmness about them. They don't overreact. They're not that you should shake off a mistake, but they always know that, you live for another day, there's another play. But I like the high hockey IQ. I like the intelligence that is being displayed out here on the ice.
Let me ask you guys a question here, because we saw Sebastian Kosa play. He allowed 4 goals in that first game. Now, this means nothing. I mean, this is just 3-on-3. It's a development camp. But with that said, do you think, obviously he has to know that down the road, he's probably the goaltender of the future for Detroit, and he has a lot of room to improve and to grow. But, do you think there's some pressure on him right now, or is this something that he just has to work out?
I will say that there's definitely a little bit of pressure on him. I think he knows how much not only the organization is expecting of him, but fans. You can see it now. There's fans in the comments really not happy with the way he played here at development camp. But you have to remember that, like you said, Ken, this is 3-on-3. He's going to get shelled a little bit. That's what happens in 3-on-3 hockey. And he played really well with his team, the Edmonton Oil Kings, in the WHL in their playoffs. He was excellent. He was excellent. So that shows that he can step up in the big moments. And again, we talked about the experience in championship games, in playoff games. You can't teach that experience, and that's going to be invaluable for him as we move forward in his career. Do we know what's going to happen with him next season exactly? Not exactly sure. Is he back in the WHL? Is he in Grand Rapids? We're not quite sure, but either way, he's still got to develop. He's a goaltender. Right. They take a longer time to develop.
Well, there's certainly, and I'm going to bring up Michael Rasmussen. Michael Rasmussen was a dominant player in the WHL, and he could have gone back for another year, or the Red Wings kept him here. And I know that there was debate. I walked in one time when they were debating, do we send him back to junior or do we keep him in Detroit? And there were strong arguments on both sides. And, they decided to keep him here because it was like, what's he going to do? What's he going to learn? How is he going to get better in the WHL, a league that he had dominated in? Do we just keep him here and let him practice every day with the Red Wings and play as many games as he earns, into the lineup? I'm not saying that they're going to do that with Kosa. Goaltender's a little bit different position. I understand that. But that's the decision right now. The Red Wings have to figure out, do we send him back to Edmonton where he's going to be on another good team? Although, I don't know, the Oil Kings went for it last year in the Memorial Cup, and OHL teams or CHL teams because have a habit of, putting all their eggs in one basket, and then if they win the Memorial Cup, fine. If they don't, then they blow the team up. They start trading all their guys because they're kind of going a mini rebuild. That's the way it works. But what's he going to gain in Edmonton, or do we work with him here? He goes and, he's with Phil Osair and, Brian Mahoney-Wilson down in GR. Do we keep him there and, let him learn? It might be a tough lesson to learn, but let him go out there, let him play against men, let him, pucks for a guy that big. The one thing I've noticed is the glove hand a little bit up high and pucks seem to go through him at times. But then again, he also is a brilliant goaltender. He makes fabulous saves. So that's the complexities of youth, I guess, especially if you're a goaltender. And it'll be interesting to see what the Red Wings decide to do with Sebastian Kosa. I think that he's really, really looking forward to being to being in GR next year.
All right, guys, we've got teams taking the ice. Before we get to all of that action, we appreciate all of you watching today. And if you want to interact with us on social media, use the hashtag LGRW. Welcome back inside the Belfour Training Center here at Little Caesars Arena. I'm Daniella Bruce alongside Ken Kal and Art Regner for this Red Wings Development Camp 3-on-3 tournament presented to you by Huntington Bank. We've got the consolation game just about to get underway that consists of Team Simon and Team Cleary. We were talking before we went to a quick break there just how much Donovan Sebrango impressed us in his first game with Team Simon. Like we mentioned, he's spent some time in Grand Rapids, almost a year and a half, and the AHL is a league of men. It's a great hockey league, perhaps the second best in the world. And he just looks to me that he has that experience, right? Just a step above some of the other prospects, Ken.
Well, one of the things I like about him, he seems like he has some good leg power, good acceleration, and he has that ability to find the open ice. And that was one of the things I've noticed. And he can really make plays happen at the blue line. So he's a natural athlete, smooth and effortless skater, as I mentioned. And I guess one of the areas that he's working on is improvement with puck control. But obviously in that first game, he controlled the puck really well and seems to be a force out there amongst the players that he's playing against.
All right, Simon Edvinsson will be back out there for this game as well as a part of Team Cleary, and so will Will Wallander. So two really highly touted Red Wings defensive prospects.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I thought both of them had their moments. I thought Edvinsson probably looked a little bit better than Wallander, but Wallander actually held his own too. I guess the one player I really am interested in would be Sebastian Cossa. How does he rebound from the first game? And he'll be in white for Team Simon. And, he's out there right now talking to Red Savage as they're out on the ice doing some stretching. I'm interested to find out, Daniella and Kenny, where you guys are at that, okay, it's not competitive. We're all having fun. We're all getting to know each other. Jobs aren't going to be won or lost during development camp here, as we've said many times. But I don't think anybody wants to be an 0-2, right? 0-2. This game might get a little edgier. I think just because I think the competitive nature is going to come out where, as I said, no one wants to be 0-2 in this tournament. They'd rather be, these guys, since it's a consolation game, be 1-1.
And as far as Sebastian Cossa, they're all competitors, and he obviously wants to have a better game here in this consolation game.
Yeah, I would imagine so, and that's who we need to keep our eye on. I think we're all excited about Sebastian Cossa, and Ken, we were talking about it before that break, just how much pressure is Sebastian Cossa under right now? Art and I answered. What do you think? What do you think the type of pressure is that's on him to perform here today?
Well, I just think that he had a tough prospect tournament last year, and it's still early on in his career, but, obviously the development camp, the coaches are looking at his video and they want him to improve on different parts. Now, another thing that you need to look at is, okay, let's say he's weak on the glove side, okay? I'm just throwing this out. Well, obviously, maybe they talked to him throughout the course of the week to change his style of goaltending to try and fix that glove side. So what happens is maybe you try to overcompensate or overthink, and the next thing you know, it takes time for you to work on that. And maybe these are types of things that he needs to develop on and work on, and it's just taking some time. But he's a good goaltender. Obviously, he's shown what he can do with the Edmonton Oil Kings. And again, goaltenders, it just takes time for some of them to develop. And, the more opportunities he has to 10 goal and play against top caliber competition, the better off he's going to be.
Yeah, like you said, he's a goaltender. It's going to take time for him to develop. And I'm sure he's just as disappointed that he hasn't performed well in the opportunities that he's had among other Red Wings prospects, right? Everybody wants to perform well. But give him some time is basically what I mean here. After the first game, I know fans are going to have a reaction, but give the kid some time to develop.
Daniella and Art, a couple of days ago, a lot of these players are going through power skating drills.
Right.
And they were shown how to be more powerful on your first and second steps, right? Well, this game is hard enough when the competition is going to think about all that stuff, but these are the types of things that the coaching staff wants them to work on so that they can get better down the road. So obviously you can use this during the development camp to try and do some things that normally you wouldn't do and work on your game.
Well, I guess my word for the day is intelligence, and you're right, Ken. Now they want to see what they've taught them during the week. How quickly does that translate back onto the ice? Are they able to take what they've learned? And, they're not going to perfect it right away. But, I think what they're going to end up doing is that they're going to, evaluate and say, okay, his skating is getting better. He actually took what we said to heart. Again, and really, I don't want to belabor on Kosa here, but certainly he definitely wants to play better. I know that he wants to play better. He doesn't lack confidence, but I do think the interesting thing as we follow his trajectory to Detroit is exactly what happens to him this year. Does he go back to junior or does he go to Grand Rapids? I got to think that he's going to go to Grand Rapids, but there are an abundance of goaltenders now in the Detroit system.
All right, Kosa is not starting the game as we get going here for this consolation game. In goal for the red team will be Andrew Oak, and for the white team, Owen Flores. So we're underway, and let's see what happens here as Savage takes the puck over the line, gets the shot away, and the save was made by Oak. Pass in front now. Here is Stauer Nielsen circling the net, sends it in front to Savage, and it was batted away and out to center ice. Quickly comes Keenan Draper, trying to beat Sebrango, cuts inside, uses his body, gets the backhand away, and Charleston came up with a save. Nice effort right there by Keenan Draper.
Yeah, definitely a nice effort there, and Simon Evanson trailing a little bit, and Draper just didn't have any opportunity to get him the puck.
His ability to get around Donovan Sebrango, who's been impressive so far in the first game that we've seen him, was really spectacular right there, and Draper's a good skater, just like his dad.
Right, exactly. I mean, I'm not surprised to see that.
Art, you just like him because he's going to Michigan.
Is he? I didn't know that, Daniella.
Knuble moves in with a backhand, scores on Oak, and it's a quick 1-0 lead for Team Simon, and they pick up right where they left off.
Cole Knuble did not have bad numbers for Fargo in the USHL. 62 games played, 20 goals, 29 assists, 49 points, and a free agent invitee, son of Mike, who is a coach with the Grand Rapids Griffins, former NHLer, former Red Wing, former Michigan Wolverine, I understand.
Giving his Team Simon the 1-0 lead. As you mentioned, Art, nobody wants to go 0-2 in this tournament, and you can already tell that in the first few minutes of play here. A very high energy back and forth game.
There's James moving in with a shot, and that one over the crossbar. They come back 2-on-2 the other way. Master Simone, left face-off circle, sends it in front, and it's off a stick, comes out to center ice. Quick change by Team Simon. 1-0, they have the lead. Master Simone, left face-off circle, pulls away from Red Savage, brings it back to the left point. Stick handles with the puck, finds an opening, trying to cut through defenders. Savage knocked it away, and Ali comes back. 2-on-2, up across the line. Ali, right circle. Makes his way in, gets the shot away, and a quick reflex save by Oak as he kicked it away with a right pad. Simon holds it in. Now it's broken up. Ansel will pick it up. They will try to change on the go right here. Buying time is Ansel, who lifts it out to center ice. Savage backhands it from center and into the corner. Oak out of his net to play it. Wallander will pick it up and move away from Aucoin, who's in deep. Ansel gets the feed, poked it through defenders, up along the left side. Aucoin coming back to play it out to center ice. Savage turns quickly, trying to outrace Wallander up the right side, makes his way in. And Wallander with a nice defensive poke check to knock that puck away.
We talked about Will Wallander being one of the highly touted defensive prospects. What a great play from the young defenseman there.
Yeah, those are little plays that don't go unnoticed by the coaching staff.
No, definitely. And again, showing good composure there on the ice and made the play.
Well, they take it down low. Centering attempt broken up and into the corner. Sebrango spun around a little bit right there. Piercy picking it up in the corner. Turns away from a check. Edvinson gets his position parked at the top of the right circle, gets the feed, moves out in front, shoots the puck across the crease. It was a pass intended, and it was broken up. That was Piercy who was on the doorstep. Now Edvinson uses that big frame to take it to the side of the goal. Turns away from a check, lost the handle of it.
Edvinson is not shy about shooting.
No, that was actually a great play to just miss the stick of Riley Piercy, but great vision from Simon Edvinson to get that puck across.
Our Nielsen played it ahead. Mazur up across the line, picks it up, circles in behind the goal. Left circle, hanging on to the puck, buys more time, cuts inside, shoots the puck, and it's knocked away by Flores, the goaltender.
Edvinson, when he skated to the bench, just before he got to the bench, let out a word or two. A little bit frustrated, thought maybe he should have had a goal.
1-0. Team Simon with the lead on the goal by Cole Knuble. Sebrango in pursuit. Master Simone checked in behind the goal by Sebrango. Now it's scooped ahead. Ansel on a break. Savage off the bench trying to catch him. A shot and he scores. Ansel with the goal, and that ties the game 1-1.
Julian Ansel, free agent invitee, Sherbrooke of the Quebec League. 68 points in 67 games, including 26 goals last season. So he knows how to put it in the net.
Actually caught him on a change that time and buried the puck, and it's a 1-1 tie.
1-1 tie in a game. Again, we talk about these guys wanting to make that impression. You don't want to go 0-2, so we've seen the offense really picking up here. And you can just tell the speed of this game is a little different than the other two that we've seen.
Right, certainly. And, you know, in the period are only 6 minutes long now, so...
they keep getting shorter.
Yeah.
Started at 10, then it went down to 7. Now it's at 6.
Yeah.
Game tied 1-1. Here's James up across the line.
Well, it's a quick turnover for these guys, really. Some guys just got off the ice and they're back on there now playing another game.
Yeah.
Simon Edvinson to get away from Savage. Outlets it out to center ice. There's a pass across. It was in behind everybody along the near boards. Piercy turns, fires, save made, and Flores keeps it alive, throws it into the corner, and Red Savage to pick it up.
After this game, we're expecting to have Dan Cleary up here in the booth joining you guys after I talk to what we'll consider the most valuable player of this game. So I'm excited to hear what you guys ask him and his thoughts on how the first development camp since 2019 and his first time actually running the development camp went this week. I
always like to ask Dan, is he, you know, what day is it? Is it a Dan day, a Danny day, or a Daniel day? But Daniel Day-Lewis, an actor. But no, you know, I think he's going to have to be pretty happy. I'm going to ask him really about the compete level, what he's seen out on the ice, what does he like thus far, and who stood out for him, and, you know, in general, just how he thinks the camp has gone. This is the last day of it. As Daniella, as you pointed out, some of the prospects, Simon Edvinson, Sebastian Cossa, they will still be here in Detroit through the end of the month. I believe it's the 28th or so, working out and perfecting. And then some of these guys will go to their World Junior teams, and some of them will go back to their respective clubs and start working out. And we'll see some of them at the Prospects Tournament in mid-September.
And that's always a great tournament. And they used to have 8 teams in the Prospect Tournament. Now I think it's down to 6 or 7. But it's a great opportunity to see all the top prospects. Cole Sillinger was a guy that we saw last year, and he was probably the best player. And what a first year he had with the Columbus Blue Jackets in the NHL.
Right, and I don't know if it was the year before it. Well, maybe 2 years before that. They all kind of mesh into one now since March of 2020. But remember, without question, at the Prospects Tournament, Mo Sider was head and shoulders above everybody. And so if you can make it up to Traverse City, and we suggest you do if you can do it, there's a lot of great hockey, and that Prospects Tournament is a lot of fun. You see a lot of high-end hockey players.
Sebastian Cossa now in net for Team Simon, so a big period coming up for him. Again, it's only a 6-minute period, but I'm sure he's going to be tested, Ken.
Absolutely, and he's going to be tested right here as Piercy breaks in, left circle, but a good play by O'Coin to knock the puck away. Game tied 1-1. Knuble, he opened the scoring, got it to Ali, back to Knuble, up across the line, barely onside. Worked it over to the left side for Ali. Checked by Piercy. Now Simon Edvinson will pick it up. Crisp pass across, rink-wide feed. Ali to Mazur in front, and he just could not handle that puck as it bounced off his stick.
Carter Mazur was a member of that University of Denver national championship team as well. Described as a grittier player, Sean Horkoff said he has some sandpaper to his game, so he likes to get in those dirty areas when he scores goals.
Mazur trying to bump that puck out to center. Did for a moment. Now it circles back to O'Coin. Lifts it up the left side. 2-on-1 developing. Heading to the bench, though, is Ali, and James heads out onto the ice for Team Simon. Game tied 1-1. Knuble and Ansel, the goal scorers. Up the right side, Moore trying to get the feed from Master Simone, and it bounced over his stick into the corner.
Nice play there, just could not finish.
Dower Nielsen trying to get the feed. Races over to the right side. It was broken up. Along the near side, James throws it back towards the blue line. Shoulder fake by Sebrango. Got a weak shot away, and that one ends up off his stick into the right corner. Pass in front of the net. Sebrango, bad angle, pulls it back. Swings it across to the right circle to James. James drops it back to Sebrango. Good passing. Now to Red Savage. Moves into the slot. Slap shot wide of the goal. Rebound picked off into the corner. Master Simone will pick it up now and race over the blue line. Right side in on Knuble. Cuts inside. Turns, fires, scores. And he beat Kosa on the glove side.
You know, if somebody needed that, it was Master Simone. Well, he's had a number of chances.
You could see his reaction there. He did a little fist pump, let out a little woo, and he was excited to get one in the back of the net. But Art, we talked about him earlier, the transferring to Arizona State, definitely a big year for him. He wants to impress this Red Wings staff today.
Right, yeah. He, Ethan Phillips, a couple others. This is a big upcoming season for them.
So it's 2-1. In favor of Team Cleary. Out to center ice now. It's lifted back into the corner, and Wallander will pick it up. Steered it up the far wing. Nobody there. That puck will slide the length of the ice.
No icing, it looks like. It's just as we said, we're in a running clock.
No icing in 3-on-3, right?
Yeah, no
icing in 3-on-3.
We'll make it up as we go along. We're going to play with some rules and some we're not.
We've only seen one penalty, and it was rewarded to a penalty shot.
Oh, wow. Oh, nice play there.
That was a good shot right there by Drew Bavaro. That's his third game of the tournament.
Yeah, you talked about him, Ken, and how impressed you were in the first game. He had 2 goals, adds another one here in the consolation game. Another guy that's just trying to impress the staff and trying to earn a contract somewhere.
Yeah, certainly. You're right there. Plays for Bentley in the AHA, 27 points in 36 games from Bradenton, Florida. But big kid, 6'3", 200 pounds.
Yeah, he sure picked the corner, too, on that shot.
Right, it was nice. It was a nice goal.
Ali with a backhand opportunity. That one's knocked away. Edvinson lost the puck. Dower Nielsen got it back to the right face-off circle. Game tied 2-2. Here's Ali moving into the slot. Lane shut down, moves away from Robert Master Simone. Now Edvinson steers the puck around the boards. Master Simone to pick it up.
You know, Ali has been pretty impressive, too. He, again, seems to make the right plays. I think he needs to work on his finishing touches.
2-on-1 developing. Here's a shot. A save made by Kosa with a pad, and now back the other way. Here comes Ali on Edvinson.
2-on-1.
Way in,
and
he slings it in front. Backhand opportunity by O'Coin, and that one just wide of the goal.
What do you think about the decision there Simon Edvinson made to take the player and play the body?
Well, I thought it was a good decision, although Ali did make the play. He got it out in front of the net.
2-on-1 situations are tough to defend.
Right, they definitely are. You know, I mean, at least he made the decision. He didn't dilly-dally about.
A good power move coming in right there by Keenan Draper, who tried to score on Kosa. Savage picks it up, stops behind his own goal, lifts it up the left wing out to center ice. Sebrango backhands it across. Savage over the blue line. Cuts inside, makes his way over to the left circle, swings it back towards the line. Now moving in, Savage again, picking it up in the slot with a shot and a save made by Oak. Rebound into the corner. Cleared down the ice, waved the icing off. No icings in 3-on-3. Kosa to play it. Sebastian Kosa takes a look up, feeds it ahead, and up the right side. It's lifted off the stick of Sebrango to Savage, who takes it deeper into the corner.
It makes sense in a 6-minute period not to call icings, though. You just want to play a wide open.
Keep the flow going,
Yeah,
right?
keep the flow going, let him skate and play hockey.
Knuble opened the scoring in this 2-2 game, moves it up the left wing out to center. Sebrango over the blue line, makes his way in, tried to pass it across, broken up, and out to center ice, long shot on Kosa at the horn by Master Simone, and the period comes to a close, and we are tied 2-2 after 2 periods.
Hey, Mastro Simone ripping that shot from about center ice. Wasn't a bad shot for how far away he was.
No, definitely. I mean, he certainly wanted to. Again, he's out to impress. I know that we keep stressing how the jobs aren't going to be won or lost, but impressions will be made. And Master Simone really wants to go back to Arizona State, leaving a good impression with the Red Wing brass. So I think the scoreboard is obsessed with period 1.
This was period 2, right? Yeah.
Right, exactly,
I was questioning myself when I saw that up on the scoreboard.
Yes.
It looks like Kosa will stay in net for Team Simon.
A lot of pressure on him right now.
And
boy.
Pierce
Team
Charleston
2-2.
will be taking his position in the goal to our left.
In the green and white.
In
Right.
the green and white and with red. So, as
Christmas.
Daniella, the interesting thing about Daniella is that, she loves Christmas.
Love it.
It's Christmas 24/7, 365. I do have a nickname for her, which is Miss Christmas. And so I knew when she saw the green and white coupled with red that would be her player of the
I actually
game.
think the Red Wings should add some green to their uniform.
Well, I know you do. Because
Just kidding. Fans do not attack me for that one. I do not want there to be green in the Red Wings uniform.
Well, isn't it like, I don't know, I could be wrong, but I think that Toronto and Detroit are the only 2 professional teams in all of sport that only have 2 colors, red and white and blue and white.
Right, Toronto for a little bit, they had silver in their jersey,
Yeah.
but they took it out. I
Well,
think.
when Steve got to Tampa, remember they had a lot going on in that uniform, and he really modified it to blue and
Blue
white,
and white,
basically.
yeah.
All right, we're down to 1 period here in the consolation game. It's a 2-2 tie. Now Simon Edvinsson pinching in down low, checked in along the corner, circles the net. Calm player, moves it back to Master Simone, turns away from a check of Knuble. Got it back, Piercy. In deep is Simon Edvinsson. Turns away from a check of Dower Nielsen. Still stick handling with a puck. Tries to jam it home short side.
Dower Nielsen and Simon Edvinsson are best of friends, but not on the ice, not in this game.
Kosa with a face-off. He freezes the puck, so now we've got a line change on both of these 2 teams. Coming up next, the championship game. And, boy, I'll tell you, I'm looking forward to that, especially Amadeus Lombardi, who had 4 points for his team in a 4-0 win.
Yeah, what's his encore going to be?
5 points. I'm just kidding.
That's right. I mean,
No pressure, Ammo. No pressure.
if he starts coming out and playing like a piano concerto or something, I'm going to be...
Red Savage makes his way in with a shot. He scores. That was a nice shot that beat Charleston. And Team White, that's the Simon team, takes the lead 3-2.
Red Savage was a 2021 4th-round pick for the Red Wings. Really exciting guy. He's been good throughout this 3-on-3 tournament, and I just love his name. So I'm hoping he gets in a Red Wings uniform so we can put Savage on the back of a Red Wings jersey one day.
Well, he's got good genes. His father played in the National Hockey League.
True.
Here's Mazur now back the other way, makes his way in, right circle, cuts inside, got the shot away, and I don't know if that hit the post art or...
I thought it hit Kosa's shoulder, but I could be wrong.
I didn't hear the tink, so he must have made the save as they come back. Here's James with it, 2-on-1 over the line. James shoots the puck. Charleston the save, and the rebound right out in front of the goal, cleared away.
As we said, Kosa's a big guy, so he takes up a lot of net.
Keenan Draper on the ice. Now Wallander plays it up the left side. Mazur over the line. Both teams changing on the fly. Down to 2:40 to go in the 3rd period. 3-2 lead for Team Simon.
I would love to see the goalie pulled just once.
Well, we could see if this one goes down to the wire, and apparently it might do that.
Yeah, 3-2 with 2:24 and counting left in this game.
Just going back to that last shot that we saw Kosa make the save on. Thought it hit the post, but it actually producer said hit him in the mask.
Yeah, I knew it was up high. I thought it was his upper shoulder, but mask makes sense too. Although we didn't really hear it.
Right.
If you hit the mask, you would think that that it would make more of a sound than it did.
Down to 1:56 to go.
Hey, the goalie's about to be pulled. Oops, he wants to leave.
And he went back in. 2-on-1 the other way. Sebrango trails, gets the feed, couldn't handle it. Into the corner, picking it up on the backhand, squirts it back in the line, Ali. Ali with a stick handling move, makes his way wide, goes down on Ansel, turns away from the check. He'll just play it out to Knuble at center ice. Red team making a change up across the line. Sebrango, that was offside. Late whistle by the linesman. 1:26 to go.
I think they want to get the goalie out of the net if they can. And they do.
Charleston is getting some instruction right here, and yep, he is coming off. Dan Cleary pulls him. So it'll be 4-on-3.
Mazur, the extra skater. Edvinsson, Master Simone. Here we go. Goalie pulled.
Draper's in there too. Here's a chance by Mazur, and he shot. Kosa made the save. Puck off a stick, rolls to the side of the goal. And they wave the icing off and hit a stick. So Edvinsson picks it up in front of the open cage. Works it away from Dower Nielsen. Hands it ahead, and Carter Mazur lifts it up the left wing. Master Simone over the blue line. Makes his way in with a backhand. Kosa with a pad save, and he will hang on to it with 35 seconds to go.
Really, with the running clock, they really don't have as much time as they think they do. And, you know, seconds are fleeting. We're under a half a minute now. It's 27 seconds and counting.
And a slow change by the team that's leading, Team Simon.
Yeah, well, a good move there by Ben. Savvy. He's laughing. He's actually laughing right now over at Cleary.
Puck shot into the protective netting, and time's going to wind down here. Boy, that's a bad break, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, they stopped the clock. 11 seconds to go. They want to see what can happen here with a goaltender pulled. 3-2.
It looks like Steve made a call.
From the face-off, they don't drop the puck. Now they do. Savage tied up his man. Puck cleared out to center ice. They roll softly down into the corner. A coin picking it up, shoots the puck into the empty net with 4 seconds to go. And that'll do it. So on to the championship game will be Team Simon as they win this one by a 4-2 score. It was an empty net goal. And that'll do it. So we've got Team Simon in that championship game against Team Draper. Team Draper beat Team Simon 5-4 in the opener.
I'm kind of thinking that maybe it might be Team Watson and Team Draper. That was a consolation game.
Oh. A little bit confused here, Art.
Yeah, hey, you and me both, Ken. I could be wrong too, so I'm not going to...
Oh, that was a consolation game. That's right. All right, let's take a look at the scores.
I'm definitely not going to cast stones.
All right, here we go. Team Draper in the first game beat Team Simon 5-4. And then in game 2, Team Watson shut out Team Cleary 4-0. Lombardi had all 4 points, 3 goals in that game.
Right.
And then the consolation just now, Simon and Cleary 4-2. So now we've got Draper and Watson in the championship game.
Right. Yeah, that should be a lot of fun. Certainly. I don't know what the winner of this 3-on-3 is going to get, except hearty congratulations from everybody else, but a little bit of bragging rights. But it's been really entertaining thus far. We've seen 3 games, and all 3 of them have been impressive.
I'll tell you what, Art. It's been a fun day so far with 1 game left to go, and this is what these guys are all about. They compete, they play hard, they want to win. Even though it's a development camp, 3-on-3 game, it's all about winning, and it's a good opportunity for them to step it up and see who can come away with the victory.
Right. No matter how many recipes that that they've learned and all the fun that they've had and all the team bonding they did, once they get out on the ice, they're hockey players and they're here to compete and they're here to win. I agree with you, Ken. I mean,
all right. Well, we've got Daniella Bruce downstairs with her special guest, Donovan Sebrango. Daniella, take it away.
All right, Donovan, your team just came out victorious in that consolation game, and you had a pretty good tournament here. We were impressed with the way that you played. After a year and a half of Grand Rapids, how do you feel that your game has grown?
Yeah, I think especially kind of the end of last year is not kind of how I wanted to end my season. I didn't think I was playing good enough hockey for my team. So I think coming back and doing this tournament was kind of nice to get a little bit of confidence. I felt pretty good during the skates, but definitely not kind of the ending of the year I wanted last year, so I'm definitely coming back hungry.
And you were drafted in 2020, so this is your first development camp as a Red Wing. What were your impressions of the week?
I had a lot of fun. I mean, we were pretty busy. We were skating a lot, which is good, but got to do some pretty cool things. We had cooking lessons, which is good for me because I'm not a very good cook, and boxing, which is good, but I had a lot of fun, and it was a great first experience.
Amadeus also told me about the cooking lessons that you guys got, so that must be a big takeaway for all of you at this camp.
Yeah, especially living alone last year. I had to make a lot of phone calls to my mom how to cook things properly, but it was definitely a good thing to learn.
All right, on the ice, what are some takeaways for you? What do you want to bring back to Grand Rapids that you've learned here this week?
I think just walking the blue, we worked a lot of skills, just getting to the middle, head up. I mean, game's so fast now, especially the pro league, and I think just being able to keep your head up throughout the whole game is going to help you a lot. And I think that's just one thing I tried to really take out of this week, is just doing things a bit slower and just kind of really focusing on the little details in every drill that we were doing.
Oh, great job this week, Donovan. It's great to have you here in Detroit, and best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Ken, back to you.
All right, Daniella, thank you very much. Donovan Sebrango, who really stood out in both of the games that he's played thus far.
Right, certainly. You know, composure again. I know I said my word of the day was intelligence, but maybe composure. I think I've seen a lot of composure out on the ice, and maybe that's good. It may be because the Red Wings have been stressing more off the ice things, and on the ice it's been mostly skill drills, that they're just out there to have fun and enjoy themselves and play a little hockey. Remember, kind of rekindle why they play the game, their love of the game, and I think you're seeing it out there today.
It'd be interesting if Daniella would have asked the question about, what do you think of Simon Edvinsson out there? He's highly touted, and what did he think of his play out there as far as another defenseman's point of view?
Right, that would have been interesting to see, and but as we know, it does seem that everybody's obsessed with cooking, and and I mean literally, we've been doing this for years now, and the development camp, and the one thing the guys all talk about is Lisa McDowell and her recipes, and as we know, great story about Lisa McDowell very, very quickly is that after each game she has a special drink concoction that she makes, and the players have to drink it, and they all do. I mean, Thomas Vanek would line up for seconds and thirds, if I remember correctly. But anyway, I would ask her. I said, "Well, what during a podcast? She always does a couple of podcasts a year. The Red and White Authority. We always do one at holiday time for people that have a tendency to overeat. Exactly. But with that said, she said, "I can't tell you." I said, "What? You're not going to tell?" She goes, "Yeah, it's a secret because I don't want the other teams to find out." So she's even, has that competitive nature. I always thought I thought she was joking. She was not.
Well, things have really changed since the old timers. Like, you even look at Steve Yzerman when he was playing back in the 80s and 90s into the 2000s, and players wouldn't eat like this as they do now. They after a game have pizza and beer, and that's the way that they lived. But
pizza, beer, and cigars.
Yeah, and nowadays it's totally different. It's all about health, nutrition, and everybody in the National Hockey League is doing it now.
Well, certainly. I mean, that's the evolution maybe of society as a whole. I mean, these kids now, they all have trainers. They all have workout coaches. They some of them may have dietitians, or they force mom to read diet books or something. But my point being is that it's an entirely different thing. That if you're really a high-end player, and I don't care what the sport is, if you think you might have an opportunity to go on to college, whether a scholarship or if you're fortunate enough to become a professional athlete. You've been doing this. You've been regimented since you were like 12 years old or something. I mean, it starts young. So by the time the Red Wings get them, they already, for the most part, have pretty good work habits and off-ice habits too. I mean, certainly the Red Wings refine them, and that's why this development camp is so important.
Well, there really is a science behind nutrition, and it's funny because when you travel with the Red Wings like we do, and we're on the bus after the games, and the players have just worked out after a game, they ride the bike, they get on the bus, and there's a science behind when to put fuel into your body. And they come on the bus and they're given some type of salad or whatever they're eating, and they have to eat it like 40 minutes after the game or after they get on the bus. And it's just a whole science about how to get your body recovered and ready for the next opportunity, the next time you're going to play.
Well, yeah, you sit on the plane, they go, "Hey, would you like a peanut butter ball?" And you're thinking, "Oh yeah, man, that sounds great." not that it's bad, but it's not exactly what you're thinking it's going to be. I mean, it's very dense and it's a lot of fiber in there, a lot of fiber. But I mean, it's just a little bit different. Everything's a little bit different. When we first started traveling on the plane, or at least when I did, over 20 years ago, it was a little bit different in the atmosphere. There were Dove bars when you got off the plane. Remember, no one couldn't get enough Dove bars. No Dove bars anymore.
Yeah, it's interesting how it's changed over the years. And I always feel guilty when Lisa McDowell sees me after a game and, I've got some potato chips going or something like that, and I kind of hide them, so she won't see. But hey, that's just the way it is. But that's professional athletes right now. And not only that, but it's all about, the weightlifting and, the exercise. And I mentioned riding the bike after you've played a game. Like, fans don't understand that. They think that when they play a game, it's all over with. But no, they continue to get that lactic acid out. They ride the bike, they lift weights, and they do everything that they can just to get prepared and their body ready for the next opportunity to play.
Yeah, certainly. They do that a lot. I mean, you're absolutely right. And that would amaze us.
Right.
That would amaze us, especially at Joe Louis Arena, because these guys, their exercise room was right next to the laundry room, and after games, they start washing clothes, and once those dryers get going, it must be like 400 degrees.
All right, let's go downstairs right now. Daniella is standing by with Dan Cleary. Take it away.
Dan Cleary joining me now, Director of Player Development here for the Red Wings. So your first development camp has actually kind of run in the show, right?
Yeah.
Just describe the week to us. How do you think it went?
I thought it's gone great. I think the one thing that I've noticed is I've had so much help. Everyone around has been just terrific. Everybody at their job is just top shelf. From all the media and the Red Wings, from our training staff, trainers to the coaches that have helped. It's just been so much. It's too easy. Put it together, and then everyone else just does their job. It's awesome.
So a lot of on-ice drills and skating drills, things like that throughout the week leading up to this 3-on-3 tournament. What exactly are you looking for out of the prospects during the tournament?
Yeah, that's a good question. So when we sat down, we looked over. We have our skating coaches that come in, and then they work in collaboration with Blazer, who runs the skills, and each day was kind of a different theme, I guess you could say. But pretty much it's like basically fundamentals. You'd be surprised the fundamentals in the game that the young player needs to master, whether it be wall play, puck protection, working on your shot, change of direction, just things like that. And then Phil, who handles the goalies, he did a great job. Overall, I thought it's been great. As you look back on it, you make notes for next year that things you would change.
So we've all got the players in mind that impressed us throughout the tournament. Who impressed you? Who stuck out?
Lombardi.
Of course, you got to say that.
I love Amadeus.
4 points in that first game. We're
he
expecting a big championship game out of him,
Yeah,
too.
it's going to be a fun game. I thought Casper, he played well. Simon just got off a plane.
We were wondering that.
Yeah, it wasn't even
we
his
were
sticks.
wondering.
He looked fine.
Yeah.
And Mazur, I thought, looked good. I like Mazur a lot.
How exciting was it to have Simon Edvinsson here, though? I know fans have been anticipating it all week long, and I'm sure you guys have, too.
Yeah, it's great. He got in yesterday. At least he had his equipment. No sticks, so he's out there with the stick. I mean, I don't know if you guys can imagine, but Wallander and Niederbach have no equipment. This is all rented or whatever, So their skates is your skates, gloves, and sticks is so important in particular, but these guys did a great job.
And I had some players joining me in between games, and both Donovan Sebrango and Amadeus Lombardi commented on the cooking classes and how they're taking that with them. How important is that kind of stuff to learn throughout the week?
Oh my God, I forgot to mention Lisa, who's the most important, Lisa McDowell. She did an amazing job. The cooking class, it's too bad you guys didn't see it, but they had like 6 stations cooking different things. 2 guys nipped their fingers.
Oh no.
Oh my God. But you'd be surprised. It's such an important thing to learn. Cooking, some of these guys are turning pro, living on their own. I thought it was great. They did a great job. It's so much fun. So all these little things you mix in through camp. And, we said at the beginning it's an educational camp, not an evaluation. So hopefully these guys got a lot of education.
Yeah, so taking away that kind of things, what are those most important educational factors that you want these guys to take to their respective teams next season?
Well, we had Jim Soda here, who's like, our psychologist, kind of mental side of it, just to be there and help them if they have any questions. Lisa McDowell, when she goes over recovery, sleep, food, what foods to eat, what not to eat, how to buy them at the store. Then you have the cooking class. Then I think the most important thing is the being a professional, being a pro. Some of these guys going back to college, going back to junior, going back to Europe. I think the sleep one is a big thing, being prepared, the workouts, knowing how to work out, when to work out, and the recovery, knowing what to do after a game, before a game. If your legs are dying or if your back is dying, to rest, So all these things, I can barely name them nor remember them, but I think these guys have taken it. I know just from feedback, just talking to them, I think they've really enjoyed it.
A little different from the days when you played, huh?
Oh my God. I wish I had something like this. Yeah, different, yeah. But, you learn as you go along and try to take everything I've learned over the last 25 years and give it to these guys.
All right, well, this question is from Art Regner, okay? He's been wanting me to ask you this. Is today a Daniel, or Danny day for you?
It's a Danny day.
Today's a Danny day?
Yeah, you tell her, thank you.
All right, well, Danny Cleary, everybody, Director of Player Development, thanks so much for joining us. It's been a pleasure and so exciting to watch development camp this week.
Thank you, Danielle.
Back to you, Ken.
Well, it'd be interesting if they had Gordon Ramsay in here and did an addition with the Red Wing players, a little Hell's Red Wings kitchen or something like that.
Right.
I think that would be hilarious. Maybe we can get Gordon Ramsay to come down here and call them donkeys or something. You know?
Yeah, that would be a great show. That would definitely go viral.
And you know what, Art and Daniella, like if they could just get the fans as far as the people that they're cooking for, get some fans in here and they have them cook for the fans and then have Gordon Ramsay go crazy. That would be something.
That would be hopefully that's a note that Danny Cleary is writing down for next season. He said he wants to modify it. What works, what doesn't. Get Gordon Ramsay in here now. I don't know how Lisa would react to that, but, she could hold her own with Gordon Ramsay, that I know, but that would be kind of interesting, But then again, if the show does go viral, and I think it would, then, Lisa becomes a big television star.
There you go. We don't want to lose her, though.
No, exactly. Sorry, Lisa.
Well, let's take a look right now, Waiting in the Wings, and we're going to watch a feature right now on Carter Mazur.
Pick 70, Carter Mazur to the Detroit Red Wings. Tri-City's captain this year led all USHL skaters in shorthanded points with 6.
One of the reasons why I've really liked him as a player, I ranked him for the draft last season. It wasn't necessarily a guy that was on a ton of radars, but he's really grown over the last season, and I think that his game has expanded to a degree that I didn't even expect this early.
Carter, just good overall player, good in all situations, good in the PK, really good year on that front PP.
Mazur has become a really nice story this year. He has stepped in at Denver and been an impactful player as a freshman, and he has just taken that next step.
Yeah, I'd describe myself as like a 200-foot player that also kind of finds his way in front of the net most of the time, because that's usually where you score goals.
Nice move in front. Mazur score!
I'm also a gritty player, someone who likes to get under people's skin and likes to kind of piss people off in a way. That's kind of how I enjoy playing hockey.
He's gotten some early season accolades, NCHC Rookie of the Month and the National Rookie of the Month. And he's a guy that gives you benefits at both ends of the ice, but really his offensive game has been the key this season.
Jackson, Michigan native. He's going to enjoy this, going to the Detroit Red Wings, being a Michigan native. Well, he grew up as a Detroit Little Caesars graduate.
My career kind of switched when I met Chris Draper, so he was a major factor on me practically playing AAA hockey, and that's something that made my career kind of take off in a way. That's kind of what I learned, and he's just done a lot for me, and it's just crazy where I am today that now I'm a part of the Red Wings organization. So.
Here's Mazur. Oh, what a move. He shoots. He scores.
He has probably sort of climbed up a rung, if you will, as a prospect in terms of his status and his notoriety in the sport, which is also a huge development for him. So still going to take some time. He needs more time in college. He's probably going to be a 3 or 4 year player in college. All of that remains true, so there's no rush with him.
Same thing for Carter. I think he just needs a big summer in the gym and just continue to work on the things that he's improving on. And it'll all come together for him.
He's going to have a chance to soon be the leader at Denver. Transition into that pretty quickly. So I really like where he's going, what he's done so far. He's a guy that I think the Wings are going to be very pleased with because he plays a brand of hockey that really helps you win.
Welcome back inside the Belfort Training Center here at Little Caesars Arena for Red Wings Development Camp, presented to you by Huntington Bank. Daniella Bruce alongside Ken Kal and Art Regner. Just spoke to Dan Cleary, who was excellent. And I ran into Chris Draper when I was running back up.
Danny Cleary.
It's Danny Cleary today.
Yes.
Danny Cleary today.
Let's be correct, Daniela. But I hate to correct you on air. I usually don't do that.
Since it was your question, it's valid.
Okay.
You can interrupt me and correct me on that one.
All
But
right.
ran into Chris Draper on the way up here, talked to him for a little bit, and super impressed with Amadeus Lombardi, obviously. He told me one thing about him is how excited Amadeus is to be here, that he keeps looking around, kind of taking it all in. And he said it's so nice to see that. He truly appreciates the opportunity to be here at development camp. And, hey, he's showing it out on the ice, too.
Well, he's a skillful player.
Yeah.
And, he just impressed me not only with his skill, but his speed. And he's just fluent out there. And, I know it's only a development camp, 3-on-3, but I'm kind of interested to see what he's going to do in the future here and, how he's going to develop, because he's one of those players that, he was drafted in the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a guy that, could be one of those diamonds in the rough that I talk about.
Well, he's also playing in Flint, so we should keep that in mind to head up there and watch him play a few times next season.
Definitely. I remember driving into Flint as a kid with that big Buick City sign. I don't think that's there any longer, unfortunately. But, it's not far. It's not far. As I said earlier, OHL hockey, it's one of the best developmental leagues in the world. And there's 2 teams here in Michigan, in Saginaw and also in Flint. I guess we should probably go see. I would imagine that the Flint-Saginaw series would be quite a battle out there in the OHL. So, and doesn't Ozzy sort of have Jimmy D have some sort of controlling interest? I think in the Saginaw team. I think it's Saginaw. I should double check that, but. So there's a lot of Red Wing flavor to those 2 clubs.
Well, not only that, but to our neighbors in the South, Toledo's got a team, and out west it's Grand Rapids. Then you got Michigan State with teams, and there's a lot of hockey hotbed here in Michigan.
Yeah, don't forget. Obviously, I mean, there's 7 Division I hockey schools in Michigan. With Ferris State and Western Michigan, and Northern and Michigan Tech, as we've talked about. So there's a lot of high-end hockey being played here in the state. And the thing that I do like really about Division I college hockey, and Kenny called Michigan games for a number of years before the Red Wings.
Every time he says Michigan, he stares me into my soul.
Danielle just loves Michigan so much, and
I actually really do love their hockey team. I was rooting for them last year.
You should be.
Yeah.
And but with all that said, the thing that I like about it is that when you see the Michigans or the Michigan States or the Ohio States or Notre Dames and the old CCHA go into Ferris State or go into Northern Michigan, even Western Michigan to a lesser degree, although they're pretty accomplished athletic department. It's their Division I team. Ferris is not going to play Michigan in football. They're just not, or Michigan State or Ohio State or Notre Dame. But they can play hockey with them, and that's always great. And that's what I really, really like about the fact that college hockey is so great in this state, and we do have a lot of Division I schools here.
And keep in mind, too, the team in Sault Ste. Marie, Lake Superior State, and they always seem to have a pretty
Lake State, I mean, they win national championships, and Ken's old buddy Frank Anzalone. I mean, that
Jackson, yep.
Jeff Jackson, too, now at Notre Dame. But Frank Anzalone, what a character. Big barrel-chested guy, big New Yorker.
All right, Team Draper and Team Watson set to take the ice in the championship game for this 3-on-3 tournament presented to you by Huntington Bank. I'm looking forward to seeing Amadeus, obviously. I think all 3 of us are. Ken, who are you looking out for other than him in this game?
Well, you know what? I'm looking for everybody, really. I want to see how everybody plays, not one player in particular. And, I just think that we saw a pretty good first game where there was a lot of offense. The second game, not a lot of offense, 4 goals. But I just think that maybe they'll buckle it down a little bit. We won't see many, as many great scoring opportunities. And again, the goaltenders will play a key in who's going to win.
Mm-hmm. Art, who you looking? Art's looking.
Well, I think if you look at the roster for Team Watson, or here's Team Draper, Niederbach, Phillips, certainly Carter Geilander, who was good in net. They have an opportunity to maybe be the surprise team. Because if you look at Team Watson, they're pretty loaded. Cross Hannes, Amadeus, as we said, Marco Casper, Emil Vero, Shai Buium, and Connor Murphy. So again, and I shouldn't do this because I took his advice in the beginning, but Benny the Bookie would say that Team Watson looks pretty formidable in this game.
So, guys, it's another tidbit of information that I did find out as we were talking about how the teams were split. We weren't exactly sure. They did hold a draft.
Wow.
Each coach drafted their teams, and Team Simon, Ben Simon, had the first pick. Who do you think he took?
Sebastian Cosa?
Sebastian Cosa. Nailed it. I got it right, too, when they asked me downstairs who I thought it was. And, yeah, it was Sebastian Cosa. So that was the first pick, and they went through a full draft. That would have been a fun little feature if we would have known they were drafting their teams, huh?
And, well, it makes sense, especially if Cosa's in Grand Rapids.
Yeah, that does make a lot of sense.
You know what surprised me in your interview with Dan Cleary is how these players came without equipment. And,
right, it's crazy.
And how they had to just find equipment for them to play it. Danny Cleary said it good. Like, when you're a hockey player, your gloves, your stick, and your skates, that's your lifeblood.
Yeah.
And those are the things that you hold close to your body because that's how you excel, right? Well, to use another stick, another pair of skates that you haven't broken in, it's just it's amazing that they can still compete and play well.
And he did confirm that Simon Edvinsson just hopped off the plane. He just got here. So for what that's worth, he's playing pretty well. I don't know if I could hop off a flight like that and get in here and play productively.
Now, we want to clear out, it's not that there's any kind of protest or something going on with what was it? Is it Wallander and Niederbach that don't have their equipment?
Yes, correct.
Because the luggage was lost,
right.
and they still haven't found it. So, so they've had to make do. And considering that, which is a little bit traumatic, you don't have your equipment. You're here at development camp for your professional team, and you don't have the sticks. You don't have your gloves that you're comfortable wearing. But they've looked pretty good, considering that they're using all rental stuff.
The good news is, obviously, the management staff realizes that because you just heard Dan Cleary say, as Ken said, it's like your blood, right? They know how important it is to have your own gear. So to see these guys out here performing in gear they've never even put on before, it's impressive.
I remember Doug Brown telling me a story one time, and he would always shave his stick down every time he got his skate sharpened. And I said, well, why do you do that? And he goes, well, every time you lose a little bit of your blade, you need a different lie on your stick. So every time, it gets to the point where it's like millimeters, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe you're taking it to a whole different level than I know about, but that surprised me when Doug Brown said that.
There were some guys, and Ken, you know this, that are meticulous with when they're taping their stick or using the blowtorch on it or whatever. And then there's other guys they just kind of show up and grab a stick. Oh yeah, this one feels good enough. And then they just go out there, which is amazing, but we're human beings. We're all different, but it's just really interesting to see the preparation and the idiosyncrasies that each individual player has to get themselves ready to go out onto the ice and compete.
Well, some of these guys get their skates sharpened maybe twice a period or once a period, 3 times during a game. Alex Delvecchio, who was a captain here for many, many years, this is going back in time, he never sharpened his skates. He was out there on dull blades, yet he was a really good skater, and it's just hard to believe how he could play like that in a league where, you look at your skates and you say, wow, they got to be sharp to play.
I'm kind of wondering, the old Ty Cobb story about him sitting on the dugout steps sharpening the spice because he stole so many bases. I wonder if you're a hockey player on the pregame skate, if you're just sitting there and sharpening your blades yourself and just kind of snaring and sneering at the competition, if that would be a little bit of a competitive boost.
Well, we're about ready to go for this championship game.
7-minute period.
And we're trying to get the goaltenders here, but we are underway. This is Team Watson versus Team Draper, and Phillips quickly makes his way in over the blue line.
Draper's in red.
Slowed up, now makes his way in. Phillips trying to make something happen quickly here. 7 minutes into the period as we're playing 7-minute periods right now as a shot was taken right out in front, turned away by Connor Murphy. Phillips again rolls it to the blue line. Niederbach makes his way in, down low, slings it out in front, and that puck is cleared to the near boards. Phillips has it again.
Niederbach with rented equipment.
Phillips backpedals his way, and now changed by both games. Amadeus Lombardi is on. He's wearing the white sweater, who was in forechecking now on Bradley.
Well, he's jacked.
Bliss had 2 goals in his first game. Battling along the boards with Emil Viro. Now the puck dug loose, and here we come. Out to center ice. Up over the blue line. Pass over to Bradley. Too far behind him. It travels all the way down the ice. And now Team Draper will have to set up in behind their own goal. No score. We're in the first period of the championship game. Bradley brings it ahead to center ice. Stick handles over the line. Drops it back. Owen Mellenbacher into the corner. Skates behind the net. Backhands it towards the left point. Held in at the line. Plandowski gets the feed. Turns away. Now he'll just regroup as he tosses it back inside his own zone, and they regroup. Mellenbacher with a pass, and he could not get it. As it's played around the boards into the corner. And now turning with it, a lead pass out to center ice. Casper in over the line, cuts inside, and a poke check right there on Casper. Brings it back towards the blue line, puts it between his legs, makes his way in behind the goal, turns away from a check behind the net, outlets it, but it's broken up.
Niederbach playing defense on Casper there. Some very good defensive plays to keep Casper from scoring there.
5 minutes to go.
Yeah, I'm looking because Guylander is on the bench. So we have another goalie out there that I don't know if I have on my roster.
We're trying to figure that out, Art, as play continues, as Aberg comes up across the line, makes his way in. Phillips coming back to steal the puck. Slides it across, and now Niederbach. Pass up across the line, broken up into the corner. Lombardi knocked his man down off to the side of the goal, and Shai Buium will pick it up for his team.
Could it be
Flores and Murphy. Thank you, Mark.
Mark is our producer. Mark is our producer. Art's not just randomly thanking Marks.
Yeah. Flores with the save.
Everybody
right
named Mark out there, thank you.
All right, still a scoreless tie. Flores with the save right there, 3:53 to go here in the championship game in the first period.
So Flores was actually on Team Simon. Looks like they recruited him for a game in the championship round.
Played for the London Knights. He's a free agent in Vitae, 6-8-4, 3.67 goals against, 875 save percentage. Last year for the Knights.
Buium with a power move, making his way in. Martin not giving an inch, took him off the puck. Now comes to Casper. Casper toes the blue line, makes his way over to the right circle on Bliss. Turns away from the check. Strong on his skates, moves it back towards the line to Buium again, who tripped up. Vanderbeek picking it up, and now he's forced out to center ice, and they have to regroup there. Emil Viro hops over the bench onto the ice for Team Watson. Team Watson in the white jerseys. Viro in the corner. Trying to make a move out in front. Eludes a check. Fired the shot. Flores made the save with a pad, and he will hang on off to the side of the goal. Good opportunity right there as he made something out of nothing.
That was Emil Viro, right, with the opportunity there?
Yep.
Another impressive young defensive prospect.
Viro, Cross Hannes, Sammy Stange out there now for the white team.
Maybe it's me, but a little feeling out process, a little bit slower pace than we've seen the first 3 games.
They're clamping down defensively as Plandowski will bring the puck up and make his way in over the blue line.
This is the championship game, guys. No messing around in this one.
Now a quick pass to Viro from Stange as he makes his way in. Sammy Stange picking it up now, swings it across off the skate of Viro into the corner.
Right? But you got to give Chris Draper credit. Still has that cup of coffee in hand as he's coaching.
I did ask him why his son wasn't on his team. He goes, I didn't get the chance to draft him, so he wanted him. Just wasn't there.
No score in the first period, championship game. Viro with a saucer attempt. Oh, and a one-timer and a save made by Flores in goal.
Fourth looking good. He's come up big.
Good play by Cross Hannes, too, to get his stick on that puck. It was midair.
Quick change by both sides. Up over the line.
Marco Casper back on the ice. I think he would play the whole game if he could.
Most of them would, Art.
Yeah, that's true, but no sooner is he back on the bench that he's looking to get back on.
Boy, Phillips has looked good here. And he danced away from Lombardi, got his way over the line. Casper with a body check right there. Stretch pass for Lombardi, too far in front of him. So Casper throwing his weight around a little bit.
Right,
Lombardi picking it up now, and he tried to sling it out in front, and a great defensive play. That puck was on the goal line, and it was Bailey who made the good play. And that was an outstanding opportunity and a good save right there. Bradley, made that play, and now they score, and it's 1-0.
Missed that one. Who knocked it in?
Take a look at the replay right here. Bradley made a really good play there, knocking that puck off the goal line. And now a quick backhand by Martin, and he gives them a 1-0 lead. Team Draper with the lead.
Mitchell Martin.
Yeah, another
Kitchener.
free agent.
Yep.
29 seconds to go in the period. Cross Hannes fakes the shot, circles the net, swings it in front.
I thought he was going to go for the wraparound.
Hannes picking it up again, moves away from Bliss. Skates across the blue line, dropping it back. For the best opportunity, turnover. Bliss comes away with a puck. Now makes his way up across the line, shoots the puck in. That's tapped away into the corner. Hannes picking it up with 2 seconds to go in the period. There goes the horn. Mitchell Martin with the lone goal, and it's 1-0 after 1 period of play.
Team Draper has the lead. The coffee must be working, Art.
Yes, it definitely does. As we very well know, coffee, the elixir of life in a weird way for some of us, and I would count myself among those, and Chris Draper. Enjoy our brew on occasion.
Looks like Carter Geilander will be in goal for Draper's team here in the second period of today's game.
It seems like they're changing the goaltenders quite often. Again, you want to give all of them an equal opportunity to show what they've got here at development camp.
Yeah, you certainly do, and I think there's going to be a change in both nets, which is interesting because only one goalie was listed on each roster. So Carter Geilander, 7th round pick, 2019, I believe, but a guy that when he was drafted by the Red Wings, they were very, very surprised that he was still available and plays at Colgate, and then Connor Murphy now going into net for Team Watson.
I thought Ethan Phillips looked pretty good. He got a lot of ice time, and I noticed him quite a bit. 2019 4th round pick, 97th overall. And he's born in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia.
Well, we can't say it enough about Ethan Phillips and, of course, Robert Mastrosimone as well. These guys are playing for their contracts. They have until next June, I believe it is, to be offered an entry-level contract by the Red Wings. So they're in a big year, and they need to impress.
Right, and Ethan Phillips, as we all know, a billet family. His parents, billet family, and Philip Zadina. Very, very close with Ethan Phillips.
And Nico Hischier.
Yep, Nico Hischier. Yep. So a little bit of high-end talent there at the Phillips estate.
Team Draper leading 1-0 second period action. And up over the line skates Casper, trying to make a move outside. Niederbach slowed him down.
Showed some speed there, though.
Back to the blue line, Sammy Stange. Now to Casper. Skates over to the left side, lane shut down. He'll bring it back and they'll regroup.
I am wondering, and I might be mixing him up, but I think Niederbach played for Frölunda, but I think he might be on Rogla this year along with Casper. I'll have to double check that.
Quick change by both teams. Lombardi, who had 4 points in the first game, he's out there flying as they swing it up the board. Center ice, Hannes to Lombardi. Too far in front of him, Ethan Phillips coming away with a puck for Team Draper. With that speed now, makes a burst of speed up over the line, left side, coast to coast with a shot, and the save made by Connor Murphy. Back in the line, Martin to Phillips. Top of the circle, Bliss has an opening, shoots the puck off the iron. He had the goaltender beat, clanged it off the post. Martin again, in front, a one-time effort, save made, another save, and great opportunities. Connor Murphy with a couple of big saves and goal.
Trenton Bliss had 2 goals in the first game, so almost had another one there, rang it off the post.
Well, the goaltender, Art, came up big right there, Connor Murphy.
He certainly did, and very appreciative fist bumps there. Bliss giving him one of them right after that barrage on net.
Played for Union College in the ECAC. Makes another save on Bradley from the faceoffs. He tried to go 5-hole on Murphy.
Just got a text from friend of the show, Max Boltman. He is confirming what Art said, that Niederbach was in Frölunda, but is now moving to Rögle next season, so he'll be teammates with Casper.
Right. That's what I thought, but thank you, Max, and we miss you down here, Max. We really do.
Yeah, I hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, Max definitely misses it too. It's probably killing him he's not here.
Well, it's unlimited wet burritos for Max as he's recuperating.
Comfort food.
Yeah, exactly. He needs it.
Lombardi drops it back over the line. Cross-Hannes has an opening, cuts inside, moves in, knocked to his knees, and off to the side. Lombardi brings it out the short side, sends it back in behind the goal. Team Watson trying to make something happen here. They trail 1-0. Bradley outlets it ahead.
This does sort of have, as corny as this sounds, a championship feel to it. This is a pretty tight game, and a little bit wide open, but you can tell that these guys are playing for the championship. Whatever that is.
Mellenbacher with a nice feed in
Wonder what
front.
it is.
Bradley had the opportunity, knocking it out of midair. And again, Murphy with a big save.
I should have asked Danny.
Right. What are they playing for? Pride, I guess. But I'll tell you, Bradley has a nice flow going there, and a nice beard.
1-0. Team Draper with the lead. Here's Buium up across the line. Makes his way in, put the puck between his legs. Moved it in front, broken up, and Buium again in behind the goal. Trying to look for some help, centered it out in front, broken up, and now a break opportunity. Up across the line, making his way in. Here's a quick backhand off the post and off the goaltender. No goal.
Whoa.
Niederbach with the end-to-end rush, and he almost put him on the board.
Niederbach asking for a review.
Do we have official reviews? I don't know
think
about
so.
that one.
That was close. Let's see.
Hard to tell from that.
Oh, yeah. It's hard to see where it went.
We need the overhead view.
Here we go. This will be a good one.
I don't know. You can't tell where the puck ended up.
Oh.
Now back the other end of the ice.
There's a goal.
They score, and this game is tied 1-1. So Team Watson ends up tying it up 1-1.
How many times have we seen that? Great scoring chance on one end. The other team comes down and converts.
I think that was Casper who fired that puck
Yes,
in.
it was. 92. Marco Casper with his second goal of the tournament.
So a tightly contested game. Bradley moves into shot. He scores! A quick snapshot that beat Murphy. Right after Casper scores, Bradley gives Team Draper a 2-1 lead.
Well, there's no mistake on that one. That went right to the back of the net. A great shot from Bradley. A heads-up play, too.
Chase Bradley plays for Connecticut from St. Louis, Missouri. 7th round, 2020, 203rd overall. 9 points in 29 games last year for Connecticut.
Well, the Red Wings have wheeled and dealed with St. Louis teams in the past couple of weeks.
They certainly have. There's a number of Blues on this team. Whoa.
Landowski moves in with a shot, beating Connor Murphy, and it's now 3-1 Team Draper.
Connor Murphy seems to have a hard time with that glove side, too. At least in this game, he's made some good saves, don't get me wrong, but they're beating him on that far side.
Well, he had a lot of opportunity. He had a lot of barrages coming his way, and then, at that time, Team Draper has kind of buttoned it down.
Martin, Bradley, and Plandowski, the goal scorers for Team Draper. Marco Casper for Team Watson. Niederbach in behind the goal. 5 seconds to go in the period. 3-1 lead, Team Draper. There goes the horn, and we've got 1 period left in the championship game. 2 late goals scored by Team Draper, and they lead 3-1.
It was a quick 3-1 there, but Marco Casper scored, and then it felt like Team Watson piled right back on.
Oscar Plandowski from Halifax, Nova Scotia. His mother, I believe, his mother is a skating coach, right? Power skating coach?
Right, yes. And his father works in the scouting department, I believe, with Arizona, the Coyotes now, but does have a little bit of a history with Steve Yzerman, was with the Tampa Bay Lightning when Steve was down there, too. So a little bit of familiarity with Oscar.
What do you think Draper's saying right now?
He's saying, boys,
let's
just get this over with. I want another cup of coffee. I'm out. Ethan, can you just go down to the trainer's room and get me a cup? I mean, he's telling, hey, I like what we see. We came back and, Dan Watson, always cool, calm, and collected as he is behind the bench with the walleye. And, if you look on paper, and, we shouldn't do this, and I'm very, very guilty of it, you would think that Team Watson, with the firepower that they have on their roster, will make a gallant comeback here and make this a game in the third period, although a 2-goal lead certainly isn't insurmountable.
All right, Flores is now playing the third period for the white team, Team Watson, and Carter Geilander back in goal for Team Draper, the red squad. All right, we're down to the final period here in this 3-on-3 tournament. Certainly hope you've enjoyed it, watching our stream. There's Casper trying to get things going. He brings it up the right wing. Over the line, cuts inside, pass in front, redirected. Wide to the goal.
So Flores has played for both teams in this game?
Here's Lombardi. Must have been traded in the between periods. Casper lost the puck. Niederbach breaking in. Makes his way in, drops it back, and it's intercepted by Casper, who rolls it out to center ice. Phillips in over the blue line. Ethan Phillips cuts wide. Right circle with a shot, and the save made by Flores. And Casper comes away with a rebound behind his own goal.
Sense of urgency now for Team Watson. They're down by 2 with a running clock. Almost hit the 5-minute mark and running, as we said.
Lombardi was checked to the ice, trying to make a play inside the blue line. Cross Hannes picking it up. Stick handles over the line. Over to the left wing boards. Swings it over on the right side.
Oh, they're very aware when Lombardi is...
There's Buium making his way in with a chance,
nice
and a
shot.
bad save right there.
Seems that Amadeus has guys all over him when he's out on the ice.
Rightfully so.
Exactly, after a 4-point game.
They're scouting him as the puck comes over the line to Ethan Phillips. Shoots the puck, and that one ends up into the corner. Back the other way quickly. That is Plandowski. Stops behind his own goal. Cross Hannes watching him closely as he makes it up to Martin. Martin had his pocket picked by Buium. 2-on-1 with Hannes over the line. Buium drops it back to the trailer. Sammy Stange with a shot, and that's blocked by Oscar Plandowski, who kicks it to his forehand and makes the play to play it out of harm's way. Mellenbacher on the ice now for Team Draper. Cross Hannes picking it up, slides it across to Shai Buium. Buium backpedals his way now across the line. Drops it back to center ice. They regroup. Bradley is looking on as that puck comes up across the line. Quick shot, save made. Casper tied up by Bradley. Bradley and Casper. Bradley wins the battle, and now they settle it down and behind their own goal. 3.5 to go in the championship game, and Team Draper out in front of Team Watson 3-1.
In their first game, the Team Draper beat Team Simon 5-4, but they really have tightened it up defensively in this championship game.
Now a turnover. Pass comes to the right face-off circle. Has an opening. Casper with a shot, and the save made. Flores with the save. It comes back to the blue line. Make that Geilander. Vero, right circle, shoots the puck. Geilander makes the save again. He's looked sharp.
I think you're going to see Team Watson here really press. And I would imagine another goaltender pull if this score remains the same, 3-1 with 2:56 and counting.
Peter Bach tried to center out in front, broken up. Player dumped on the ice. Bliss will tap it across at center. Niederbach with a quick pivot. Stick handles over the line. Angles over to the right side of the ice. Drops it down low. Phillips in the corner. Ethan Phillips protecting the puck. Twisting and turning down low on Lombardi. Phillips circles in behind the goal. Wraps it around, and the save made by the goaltender Flores, and he will hang on with 2:27 left.
Ken, I couldn't agree with you more. You're right. Ethan Phillips has
stepped it up.
Maybe not a score sheet factor, but definitely a factor in this game. He is really dictating play.
You really notice him out there.
Right, you do. You really do.
Phillips making his way to the bench. Gets a little high five there from his coach, Chris Draper. 3-1 lead, championship game. Team Draper on top. Martin over the line, got the shot away, is partially deflected wide of the goal. Martin, Bradley, and Plandowski, the goal scorers for Team Draper. Casper for Team Watson. Down to 1:47 left. Team Watson needs a couple here to get back into this one. Up across the line, Sammy Stange drops it back. Here's Casper. A lot of ice time for him. Drills a slap shot wide of the goal.
Tried to pick that short side. He was very, very close. Goaltender pulled.
Buium back after it. So it's a 4-on-3 situation. Watson's net is empty. They need a couple here to get going with 1:24 to go. Buium to the trailer, right side of the ice. Turning with it there is Casper. Casper gets the feed, middle of the blue line, throws it over, right side across Hannes. Lots of firepower out there. Hannes stick handles into the corner, sends it in front, and trying to jam it home right out in front of the goal. And Kylander made the save, the rebound into the protective netting, but that was
Cross Hannes in
front of the net.
He was maybe a little bit too close in.
Yep. Now we're down to a minute to go. Team Watson needs 2 goals to tie it up. Here is Vero over to the right side. They got to get one in a hurry here. Vero moves it to the right circle, Lombardi. Now to Casper, left circle, into the slot. Vero, quick feed over to Lombardi. Down low it goes to Cross Hannes. Hannes down low, shoots the puck short side. Save made, Kylander. Lombardi to the line to Vero. Vero to Casper, has an opening, pulls the trigger. That one's off a skate wide of the goal. Hannes on the rebound. Sticked it around the boards, 28 seconds left. All Team Watson, they need 2 to tie it. Here is Vero moving it to the right face-off circle, Lombardi. Down low, bottom of the right circle, slides it out in front, ends up in behind the goal. Lombardi picking it up again, out across Hannes. Now to Vero, back to Hannes into the high slot, over to the right side. Vero with a shot, Kylander the save, 8 seconds left. Draper's team on the verge of winning, into the corner. Bradley picks it up, clears the zone, and this game is over. And the 3-on-3 championship belongs to Team Draper as they win this one by a 3-1 score.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, it was really, really impressive, the puck movement by Team Watson there with the goaltender pull, but they just could not get that goal to pull within one. But it was good, and give Team Draper credit. I mean, they gave up 4 goals in the first game to Team Simon, and they were able to come back and play very, very well, and tighten it up defensively, much like their team. And I think if you look on paper, and I don't think this is much of a stretch, you would think that maybe Team Draper had their work cut out for them. But much like their namesake, Chris Dramer, they played hard. They played tough. I mean, they came out and they tightened it up, and it was an impressive effort overall in both games by Team Draper, and they deserve to win.
Well, the head coach of the championship team, Chris Draper, is standing alongside Daniella Bruce. Take it away, Daniella.
I'm ready.
He's ready, guys. I hope you heard that. Chris Draper, Director of Amateur Scouting for your Detroit Red Wings. But today, you're the head coach of Team Draper, who just won the 3-on-3 championship. How you feeling?
Sorry, can you say that again?
You just won the 3-on-3 championship.
Love
How you
that,
feeling?
It's fun. A fun day. These guys, it's been a great week. Dan Cleary put on an absolute first-class production for these kids. Everything that they were able to learn on and off the ice was a lot of fun. But for me, this brings me back to my Little Caesars AAA amateur coaching days, the O2 group. So it was fun. I couldn't do it without my trainer dog. He was the inspiration from behind this win, and it's always fun to win.
Do you get anything besides bragging rights?
That's all I need with this group.
All right.
That's all I need.
That.
The good thing is team. Well, Dan Cleary went 0-2 and I went 2-0.
Okay.
So that's very important for this group. So I can't wait to have a little conversation.
I love to hear that you guys actually drafted your teams too. That's pretty exciting. That had to be fun.
Absolutely. It was a fun draft. A lot, obviously, kind of going back and forth with Waddy and Benny as well. So it was a lot of fun. Like I said, I think. All these guys, they come out here, they get to have some fun playing 3-on-3, but most importantly, just, what they've learned over the last 4 or 5 days is obviously going to make a huge impression on these guys. And
putting on your Director of Amateur Scouting hat, who impressed you this week?
You know what? First of all, I thought everyone did a great job. Obviously, on our team, I thought Carter Guylander, our goalie, I thought he played really well, came up with some big saves for us. I thought Amadeus Lombardi had a real good game. It was fun to watch. I thought Marco, skated really well as well. Obviously scored a big goal, that little backhand, forehand, low blocker. That's always a good shot, fun to see. Unfortunately for, Simon Edvinsson, he gets in last night, really kind of gets on the ice and away he goes. I'm sure everyone was kind of see a little bit more from him, but opportunity. But for all of us, just, being able to sit up there and watch these guys play and enjoy, coming out and having a 3-on-3 tournament, having fun with that. But more importantly, just the effort, the commitment that they had all throughout the week was obviously fun to see.
You mentioned Amadeus, who had a hat trick in his first game plus an assist. How the heck did you shut him down there in that championship game, Coach?
It's all coaching, right? Carter Guylander with some big saves. So it was, like I said, it was great. And it's fun just to see them interact with one another as well. So it was, like I said, I'm sure they enjoyed it. What a great opportunity for us to be able to host this. We haven't been able to do that for, the last two years or so. So it's great to be back. And I know everyone appreciated everything that they just got over the last week.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic week from my standpoint. And I'm sure fans really enjoyed all the coverage we had of development camp. So great job. Congratulations on the ship.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Back to you, Ken.
All right, good job, Daniella and Chris Draper, and he is the champion as they win 3-1 in the championship game, and it was a great performance, and again, I think a win-win situation for not only the players and the coaches, but for the fans watching our stream as well.
Well, you could tell, and we've known Chris Draper obviously a long time, and on occasion he might wear his emotion on his sleeve, and you could tell he was really overjoyed, not by only winning the championship here on the 3-on-3 tournament, but I think with the whole presentation, he immediately talked about Danny Cleary and said what a great job that he did, and this was Cleary's first effort taking over for Sean Horkoff, who was kicked upstairs into the front office there. But the one thing I will say, the Red Wings player development under Horkoff and Dan Cleary has been exceptional, and I think that a lot of the happiness that you saw on Chris Draper's face was based on the culmination of this week in this 3-on-3 tournament. I think that not only did the Red Wings staff get a lot out of it, but I think that each and every one of these players, and I like what Draper said about who impressed you, and he said, really everybody. And, that was kind of the feeling I was getting. We didn't see a lot of mistake-plagued hockey or anything. I mean, these guys were high-end. They had a system. They carried it out, and goaltenders make big saves when they came, or, who knows? It sounds like to Drapes that, Amadeus could have had another couple of goals or so if it wasn't for Carter Guylander, whom, as I've said over and over during this telecast today, is that that was a guy that the Red Wings nabbed in the 7th round, and they were very, very surprised he was still available, and he looks pretty good.
Art, this is our first step in our march towards the start of the regular season, October 14th here at Little Caesars Arena against the Montreal Canadiens. But now that development camp is over with, these players will go back, start training, and the next opportunity we'll see some of these players is at Prospects Tournament come September in Traverse City. So we're looking forward to that, and then training camp.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, I am looking forward to everything as far as it can't get here soon enough. I mean, certainly, I know people, hey, it's summer, let's enjoy the month of August, and, we will. But with all that said, I really do think September up in Traverse City, best time of the year to be up in TC is like, middle of September, early October there. The trees are starting to turn, the weather's usually great, and the hockey is really high end. So I'm looking forward to it, and I think there's going to be competition for jobs. I mean, Steve has created a roster where there is going to be competition, not only among the youngsters that everybody wants to see, but some of the veterans too. I mean, they're, with the signings and everything that's going to come into camp, it should be really, really interesting. Training camp this year. Can't wait for it to start.
I missed a little bit of your conversation, but did you guys pick an MVP of the championship yet?
No, we didn't.
Who do you think?
I need time to think about this. I don't know.
I'm going to go with Guylander, like Chris.
Yeah, so am I. Yeah, I mean,
good saves.
I'll say Carter Guylander. I mean, he, if Drape said he thought he came up pretty big and shut down, as we know, ammo. Amadeus Lombardi, I thought Guylander played really, really well.
I'll have to pick a runner-up. I think Marco Kasper was terrific.
Yeah,
I mean,
he
scored some big goals in both the games that he played in, and I thought he had the only goal for his team Watson there, but he looked good. And when the game was on the line, he was a force out there, along with Cross, Hannes, and company. Lombardi, they were out there trying to tie it up.
Well, right, when the goalie was pulled, that 4-on-3. I mean, I don't know, it was like 2 minutes or something to go, and with the running clock, it's hard to tell exactly when the goalie was pulled. But the passing was great. They just couldn't score. They just didn't convert. But it looked like a 2-minute power play out there, and the puck position was, as I said, fantastic by Team Watson. But then again, who's your best? Even though it wasn't a penalty kill, but who's your best penalty killer? Your goaltender, and Kyler Geilander with the man advantage, with the goaltender being pulled, came up big and his team won.
That he did. It was fun talking to Draper, too. Again, I missed a little bit of your conversation, but hey, he was really excited to be behind the bench and doing an interview as the championship-winning coach. I think he might have liked that a little too much.
He looked good with that cup of coffee in his hand, put on the bench, and it seemed like he's a player's coach. Seemed like the players enjoy playing for Drapes.
That's for sure.
Yeah, certainly. Well, he does have coaching in his blood. I told you, Chris Osgood always told me, years ago that eventually he could see Draper maybe behind a bench, and but right now he's real happy with being the director of amateur scouting for the Red Wings. But with that said, certainly you can tell that he definitely gets a kick out of being behind the bench and in coaching players.
Well, we'll wrap things up here at the 2022 Development Camp here at the Belfour Center inside Little Caesars Arena. A huge shout out to Huntington Bank for presenting our streams this week. And a big thank you to both of you, Ken and Art. It's been a blast. It's always a blast. I can't wait to see these guys up in Traverse City.
Yeah, looking forward to it. As Art mentioned, greatest time of the year. Looking forward to working with you and Art and Carly. And should be a lot of fun. And hopefully the fans enjoyed the stream here at Belfour Center.
Yep.
Well, I sort of had fun with you, too.
Whatever.
No, I know. No, thank you very much.
It was there.
Great.
No.
It was great. You two are the best. I really enjoy you. Make it easy for a guy like me. So, and we really appreciate everyone tuning in. We know the numbers were astronomical. This has gone all over the world by now. So.
Yeah, it's a big
people in Germany love us for some reason.
Oh, I wonder why. I wonder why. But a big thank you to all of you for tuning in to today's Development Camp stream. A big congratulations to Team Draper on their 3-on-3 championship. We'll be back with a lot more coverage all week long. If anything happens, stay tuned to Red Wings social media channels for all Red Wings news anytime you are looking for it. I'm Daniella Bruce alongside Ken Kal and Art Regner. We thank you all, and we'll see you next time.